music. Welcome to anybody who is checking out the stream. My name is Starwin. I am your DM for today, and we are playing in a homebrew campaign of Elsparia in the Kingdom of Timor. Today I have five lucky adventures, unlucky adventures yet to be seen, and they will now introduce themselves and their characters, starting with Borden. Go ahead and tell us your character name, your class, and anything in particular about your character.
Alrighty. I am playing Borden. I go by Zalmachi outside of the game. Borden is a dwarvish life cleric of the god Kazia, who is a wind god, more or less, since in this world we worship the elements and less of the usual pantheon. Grew up in the temple, raised by one of the priests there. His parents were quite busy working, and this is what drew him into the adventuring lifestyle when the church was more or less asked to help expand and reach new people with the word.
All right. Next up, it's Oscar. Razor, that's you.
So I am playing Oscarin.
Okay.
Also goes by Oscar, and I go by Razor. And Oscarin is from Corinthia, and early in life his mother died, and his human father moved to a village away from the elves and remarried, and he now has a half-sister that is full human. And he wanted to leave the village and he's researching the frontier in Timor. And I think that would be pretty much it.
What class is it?
Sorcerer.
All right. And next we have our bard to be, Apollo.
Hello. So this character is Apollo Vega. He is a bard of lore. His race is a half-elf. A little bit on his background. He is an explorer and trying to find many things to learn about in this world that he's been put in. His parents died at a young age, and he currently has a orb filled with smoke that definitely reminds him of his childhood. So he's always looking for knowledge to obtain and always looking to have a good time, whether it's through his music or whether it's through a good joke.
All right. And with that, we got Zara.
Evening, guys. I'm Yardan Tax. I play the character Zeras in this campaign. On a quick note, I live in a different time zone than the rest of the guys. I come from Europe. As a little bit of my backstory is that my mother was a whore, and every time she had to work, I got shoved up on the streets of the city. I grew up on the streets and learned my trade there.
And what class are you playing?
The rogue. I believe I said so.
Yeah,
Assassin.
I'm not hearing you guys telling me that. All right. Anything else about Zara?
Well, he's shady. He's part of an assassin's guild. He is out and about to see if he can find places to spread the influence of his organization.
All right. Last but not least, Leo.
All right. Leo is a half-orc paladin. He was a mercenary for a long time until he almost died and was saved by the goddess of light, Illumina, and became her paladin. She has sent him to find out why Illumina is blinded, and that's his current quest.
All right. And that's our current crew here today. Basically, we are currently in a let me think here. Where did we leave off last time? We're in the village of Ironforge, four of our adventurers from previous, they kind of settled in for the night. Two of them already turned in around 7 or so, while two of them are kind of people watching down in the tavern, having a drink, watching around. And before we get to that, Leo, as you're falling into sleep, you kind of get met with this dream, and you see light. Things are kind of glowing, and you come into the visage of this woman, long blonde hair, and light is just radiating off her as she looks towards you. And at this point, you're able to talk. You're not really able to move around all that much. Your mobility is totally eliminated, but you can definitely talk to her. You can definitely convey how you feel and move around just barely. And she's just sitting on a rock, staring at you. So, Paladin, what news have you?
Illumina. I met a white tiefling, goes by the name of Minerva. When I was in her company, I felt my connection to you was shrouded. Do you know of this, Minerva?
She is not known to me. It is shrouded, as you say. Everything about this creature shows no light. However, I must warn you, Paladin. Trouble is brewing. There will be a bard who may be able to show you a way. And then with that, your vision kind of fades and you get fuzzy. You just remember that there might be a bard who can help you out, whatever is about to happen. So that's you. Now moving on, downstairs at the tavern, things are jolly, things are cheerful. And Borden and Zareth, you guys are just kind of chilling out at the bottom. About this time, around 7 o'clock, I would say, Apollo, you're also there. And you're just now finishing up a couple of songs. Borden and Zareth, you've just been noticing this bard. He's been kind of playing his flute, was it?
Yes, that's correct.
And I do believe we wrote a performance check, and it seems like Apollo was better in this side of the country than he was on the other side. So he's played a really good tune, and he's brought in a lot of tips from all the local patrons, and everybody's cheering for him as he finishes up his set. It's about 9 p.m. about this time when he finally turns around and kind of has himself. So, Borden, Zareth, if there's anything you want to do people-wise, like want to go meet the bard, or if you want to go and examine the, whatever's going on downstairs before you turn in, I now leave it up to you
No, I
guys.
would like to start writing a letter of my collection, of my travels of the last couple of days, and how I found myself in this village.
Alright, well, if there's anything you need to give me on that, you can do that on a direct message or something, and then we'll look at that later. But as far as interactions with the current downstairs environment, Borden or Zareth, anything you
No,
want to do. And Apollo, you're free to act as well.
Okay.
So after a while, I look at Borden and Borden. What are your ideas on the full night and the werewolves we have been coming across of the last couple of days?
Even though it's the full moon, I don't fear the werewolf tonight any more than other nights. They change as they will. Sure, the full moon may agitate them a little more, but they can change when they will. It's just another night.
Yes, just another night. I stand up and walk to the bar and grab 2 beer.
Mm-hmm.
One for me and one for Borden. As I come back, I hand him a glass, and you run into werewolves before, Borden.
Never actually had much of a run-in with them, but I have heard of them and seen them before.
Apollo, at this time here, you're like putting up from your set. You can definitely listen for conversations if you like. You can make a perception check. You hear the word werewolf tossed around here and there, especially with the group that's in the corner. The pair that seems to be talking right now, but the werewolf's about the only thing you hear. Help! I need somebody. Help!
I hope that wasn't a Bard's competition. That was pretty rough.
I hope not either. Don't. All right. Go on. How are we going? Anybody going to interact with each other, or do we just need to go to bed?
Well, I'm going to write that letter as.
All right. So you're
as
writing
far
the
as I
letter.
can.
Borden, what?
Oh, say, the Bard's been playing his ass off. I'll go ahead and approach and offer to buy him a drink. He's doing a pretty damn good job.
All right. So approaching the bar, he's just now finished up his set. Apollo, you see this red-bearded dwarf come up and greet you.
Hello. Anything I could do for you?
You play a mean flute, friend. Mind to have a drink with us?
Oh, well, thank you. Sure, definitely. I'll be happy to. Playing the flute, it gets a little, dry. So, yeah, a good drink would, be very appreciative.
At which point, there's already the beer at the table Zareth has brought me. Borden's not a big drinker, so I'll go to the bar and grab a tea and tell Apollo there that his beer is already on our table.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna join them at their
Alright.
table.
Sounds good. All right. So you all kind of sit down here. You have about an hour or so to kind of chit chat as far as game time goes. So yeah, make your way in here. And just to kind of set the scene, you do see several barmaids wandering around taking orders. The crowd here is kind of sparse now that the entertainment's over, but still a fair amount of people if you needed to interact with anybody else, ranging from anywhere from some of the dirt poor to some of the slightly well off, but nobody looks overly rich, so to speak.
I look surprised at Borden and ask you to drink.
Try to keep a clear head. Prefer tea to ale and beer, personally.
Well, I be damned. That's the first time I've seen a dwarf decline a beer.
Miracles
Nothing
never-
personal,
that's,
mind you.
That's pretty rare. Not seeing a dwarf drink. This is the first I've ever seen.
Thank you. And your name is Mr. Bard.
Oh, excuse me. That's my bad. My name is Apollo Vega.
Nice to meet you, Apollo. I'm Zareth Drossin. And I reach out my hand for a shake.
I do the same.
All right. To shake hands and now share drinks
So,
together.
what brings you guys over here? I'm on my way of just seeing if I can get any extra cash on the side from these shows.
We're under martial law. We're here by the order of a commander to fetch the blacksmith and bring it to the war camp.
Okay. Is there too much trouble going on in these parts? I heard something there was about wolves going about.
Mostly orcs, and yes, we have seen some heavy activity of werewolves. So it's just a precaution at the moment.
Okay. Have these been scarce? Have they been ongoing for some time?
The werewolves in this area have been for about a week. That's what the barkeep told me. The orcs about the same as well, give or take a few days.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
if you don't mind, I would actually, if you guys would like some help, I would definitely love to join you guys. I'm always up to learn new stuff and see what's going on about.
There'll be plenty to see if you come with us. We've run into quite a few characters.
I'll be happy to then.
Alright, so yeah, you guys kind of chill out there for a little while, enjoy a little more people watching. It gets to about that 10 o'clock point where you both agreed that it was about time to go to bed. With that, everybody kind of turns in for the night. And going back on the regular initiative of ideals here, if the two of you who did not go to bed early want to roll hit dice to recover, go right ahead right now, because at about 2 a.m. the howling of several werewolves can be heard in the air.
Yeah, I wanna take 1d8.
Yeah, you can just hit your hit die on the thing there. Yeah, and make sure you decrease how many hit dice you have left on that turn. So however many you use, make sure you decrease it so that you know how many you have left if you need it again. And then you'll get half of those, if not all, back on a full rest. So, yeah, 8 hit points
This is
back to
considered
board.
a short rest, correct?
Yeah, these two are getting a short rest, but Leo and Oscar, you'll get a full rest since you turned in right after all that activity you had the day before. So their spells and everything and HP is replenished, so they'll be fresh, but you two will have to survive on a short rest, and makes sense that you were able to get the short rest if not the full rest. So with that, yeah, 2 a.m. strikes, and you hear the loud shrieks of werewolves, or howling I should say, not necessarily werewolves, or it could be. And you're all woken up by an alarm of some sort. There's like a giant bell, ding 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 ding, and people are scurrying out to the streets, or military type people, or watch people, people who have weapons are scurrying out to the streets to help. There's been a couple fires erupting in the village, and at this point everybody in the inn is kind of woken up, and the doors being kind of make sure that nobody gets in or gets out at this point. However, your group, being awoke from this, kind of rally up, get downstairs, and at this point here it's your chance to decide whether or not you want to help this village or if you want to leave it to its own fate.
I'm fine either way.
I don't think the commander would be happy if we stole the blacksmith and left the village to burn.
That's true as well. Considering that that I heard werewolves, it might be a good idea to stop by the blacksmith itself and see if we can salvage anything from his store.
Yeah, you guys can have all this conversation.
Speaking of the blacksmith, I think I might have seen a couple weapons. He was actually leaving outside.
By the way, Leo, this might be that bard you were told about, as you are just now meeting him for the first time.
Yeah, I was when I was traveling last night over to this town, I saw there were just a couple weapons as I walked by. They look to be a little shiny, maybe silvered, possibly.
We need to move out and get those weapons before they're gone.
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
you guys are heading
Let's
out.
go out.
Yeah, the bard keeps like over there by the door and everything. He's kind of watching the activity from afar. If you're going out, I'll let you back in when things calm down. Otherwise, you're on your own.
Don't you worry, I'll fight my own way in.
Alright, so with that, he'll open the door and let you guys go out and do your own business. Let's get a marching order just to kind of figure out who's what where. Who's going in front?
I will. Leo will.
Alright, and who do we have behind Leo?
Zareth.
Alright, who's next?
Gordon, you're in the back.
I'll go third.
Alright, and then we'll put Apollo between you guys.
Then at least we have two frontliners at the end of our marching order.
Alright, with that, you guys barrel down to the streets. You see several people engaged on different beast-like creatures on two legs, furry, howling, wolf-like face. Yeah, they're going at it, and you get down to where you've seen the forge, and sure enough, against the wall, there's 3 weapons. There's 2 short swords and a long sword, and they do seem to be made of silver.
I'll grab
I,
the long sword.
I grabbed the two short swords and holding one up, asking if anyone is interested in the other one.
Anybody else need that other short sword?
I was going to ask, as we ran, would it have been too much trouble to try to throw out a few cantrips to aid the combatants?
What kind of cantrips are you throwing at?
Sacred Flame here. They're trying to just, distract the wolf, let the person get a little bit of extra breathing room.
Yeah, I could say you could do that. So as you're running by, you're just doing random Sacred Flames as you go, and still trying to keep up with the crew. Alright. That'll be remembered. Along with that, you guys get to these weapons. Yeah, does anybody need the other short sword? I think everybody else has a +1 weapon. Or uses magic. Do you, Paulo, need the short sword, maybe?
I'm fine. I have my own rapier.
Alright. With that, you guys
Cool.
are equipped.
Two short swords for me.
By the way, just to clarify, I may have been doing rogues totally wrong and got more familiar with the cunning action, bonus action thing, so it will be considered just a bonus action. So whenever you use a cunning action, it will burn your bonus action. Just figure I bring that up.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah, that was something I was kind of giving too much to. And with that, as you guys travel out to try to help, you find... Well, I need to get rid of that. Just, yeah, and for anybody who's watching, I kind of like to do theater in the mind mostly. And sometimes I'll do reference points on the page that we're currently on. Sometimes I'll have battlefields written up, but for right now we're just going to play theater in the mind. There are like 2 or 3 werewolves engaged elsewhere. And then one fresh werewolf kind of comes in and just kind of stops your party and distracts, and now you are left to either engage or however you want to go about it. So one werewolf stops in front of you, and we will go ahead and roll initiative. With this here, I moved our tokens down to the bottom of the page if you're looking for them, and just click your token and roll the initiative. Let's see here. In accordance to how this is set up, if you want to set up who goes where, just to kind of reference your point from where you're coming from, I'll let you go ahead and position yourselves around this enemy. Alright, so a standard formation there. This is basically a formation. We'll use, we'll go from reference from there. Alright, with that, top of the round goes to Apollo. How would you like to start this?
Alright, so I will use Vicious Mockery on it.
Alright, and let's see here.
Makes a DC 13 Wisdom save.
I need to keep that sheet open. Well, looks like it meets it, but it still takes 2 points of damage, right? Does
Nope,
it take half
it's
damage
either,
on it?
it does or it doesn't.
It does or it doesn't. Alright, so nothing on that. Alright, cool. So yeah, you do Vicious Mockery. Try to say something to it to affect it with the psychic powers of Vicious Mockery, but the werewolf seems to be too in tune with its bewildered type features as it's not even paying attention to it. Somehow the runic ability of your Vicious Mockery does not penetrate his cranium. So, moving on to Zareth, how would you like to start?
I would like to hide.
Okay, bonus action hide. Go ahead and roll stealth.
That's not a great roll.
Probably not, no. As far as you know, you're hidden.
Then I would like to go close.
Go ahead. Or would you... You're gonna close in on him? Alright.
I'm going to use Assassinate with my silver short sword.
Go right ahead. And since he did not get a turn this round, and
Natural 1.
a natural 20 on the other side, but however, assassinate lets you get. Does it give you advantage?
I'm
Well, I
not
think
sure.
it's
I
a
have to look it
critical
up
hit
yet.
right off the bat, anyway, though, ain't it?
Yes. If it hits. So I'm not sure. Let me open up the player's handbook.
I think we can use compendium here and type assassinate. No. Oh, our lovely rogues, how we love you so. Assassinate. I have this page bookmarked. You are the deadliest when you get the drop. You have advantage on the attack roll. So yes, you do hit. You do damage. So yes, you do manage to strike him. It's a critical hit either way. So 7, 21. So
That
your
seems about it.
yeah, your silver short sword does 21 points of damage. Alright, anything else for your turn?
If I move out, he gets a strike on me, right?
Yeah, he'll get an attack of opportunity, and you already used your bonus action to hide.
Yeah, I know. I'll just gonna stay put then.
Alright, and with that, Werewolf's turn. So yeah, after you land that blow trying to assassinate him, he kind of cringes in pain, leans over and howls real loudly before he turns around. And let's see here, he's going to do, makes 2 attacks, one with its bite. 17 a hit.
He attacks me.
Yeah, you're the only one
Then
next to him.
70 will hit.
Yeah, you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
$14.
Alright. And you take 6 piercing damage from that, and then he will go in for a claw attack. 16 a hit.
That will hit.
They're rolling high tonight, guys. And 4 slashing damage from that. So yeah, you see Zareth over there. He get bit in the neck and then clawed across the chest. His leather armor is kind of sheared a little bit as blood starts to spew out. And the wolf is definitely letting out a cackling howl. At this time, let me, before Borden starts, have everybody roll a perception check. Wow, nobody over 15. Okay, never mind. Borden, how would you like to start?
Going to get in melee and take a swing with my hammer.
Alright, go right on up there and take a swing, sir. So the dwarf marches on up there, rears back his hammer, and whips. You got a bonus action. Do you want to do anything with that? Or can you?
I do not believe I currently have anything on the bonus action table left from the short rest.
Yeah.
Well, you
Healing
can make
word
an
or-
extra attack as a bonus action.
If he had a two-handed weapons or 2 weapons, he can only do that if he had multi-attack. I don't think you get that till 5 on most classes. Leo, what would you like to do?
I'll move up right next to the werewolf, and then attack him with my silver longsword.
Since you are
This is with advantage because he's flanking,
Yep,
right?
you are flanking, so I'll give you advantage. Natural 20, is that right? Or am I seeing wrong? No, that ain't right. Okay, but you still hit it.
Hmm.
So go ahead and roll damage.
I'll also put a divine smite into this.
Is that figured in with the divine smite? Okay,
That's with the divine smite.
so what's that one? Oh, that's versatile, right? So are you wielding it with one hand or two hand? I should have probably asked.
One hand.
So 5, 4 is 9. All right. Yeah, you rake that longsword across his chest, and he kind of reels back from it. He's still looking pretty strong. He's still holding up. And with that, Oscar Wren, what would you like to do?
Would it cost me anything to look around to see if I see any more werewolves?
Well, I could tell you plainly that you can see at least 3 or 4 fighting parties in the region, in the area. If you want to make a perception check for something else, go right ahead.
Well, just to see how close they are.
Alright, go ahead and make a perception check. And no, it don't cost you anything. They're not that close as far as you could tell.
Okay, sweet.
If you're asking for, like, if they're in range of a certain spell or something, no, there's definitely plenty of room.
Okay, so at least 120 feet. I'm going to go ahead and use Witch Bolt on the werewolf.
Is that a range attack?
It is 30 feet.
Alright, well, I mean, roll your range attack on it, then. Is it a save or range? I think.
I think it's an attack. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know if that's programmed in, right? And Witch Bolt is one of those spells that are not in the compendium for some weird reason. Which I don't understand why. It's one of the better spells, I think.
It's a concentration.
Yeah, but it has
Yeah,
to hit
but
first.
it's a hit. It's a hit, so I missed.
No, you didn't even... Oh, was that your attack roll? Is that what that was?
Yeah,
Just...
it's an 8. I'm assuming that didn't hit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Alright, so that was set up right. Sorry about that. Yeah, so you tried to throw out Witch Bolt, and yeah, just totally off kilter, so you kind of missed on that one. With that, we are back to Apollo.
Okay.
Did you want to move or anything on your turn? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, so you're good where you're at. Alright, go ahead, sorry.
Let's see. I will use. I use Dissonant Whispers on the wolf.
Alright, go ahead and spell card that to show it.
It's a DC 13 save, wisdom save.
He makes the save.
Okay, then
Yeah.
it's half damage.
Alright, so what's the damage on that?
I believe you round down, so that should be 7 damage.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't see the roll for some reason. Alright. Or wasn't looking, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Man.
hears these whispers and kind of looks around and takes the psychic damage from your dissonant whispers. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I'll move up to here, and as a bonus action, let's see, I'll give our paladin inspiration. And I'll play him a little toot on the flute and give him a d6 inspiration die.
Alright, so you can add d6 to a saving throw or an attack roll. Alright, Zareth is up.
I'm going to attack the werewolf with my silver short sword.
Alright. And you have allies within 5 feet, so it will be sneak attack if you hit. Let me see what the AC on this bad boy is. It's only 11, so you hit.
Awesome.
Or
So that
actually-
makes 11 points of damage. Then I would like to use my bonus action to disengage.
Alright, go ahead. So you rake it one more time, and then quickly you're like, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out.
Yep, and I would like a heal.
Well, you can wait for one. if you have a potion, well, you already used your bonus action.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're kind of saying, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. You can use a healer. Oh, yeah, you are hurt. Alright, werewolf's turn. I am indecisive. Odd is going to be bored. So we're going to go after Leo. Alright. Leo, it starts out with a bite attack. 12 is a miss,
Miss.
for sure. And then he comes across with a claw. 10's a miss.
Miss.
Darn it. Alright, Borden, you're up.
But I take Zareth's position there and maintain the flank.
Sounds like a plan. There you go.
And then I will be attacking with advantage then, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That's a hit. Oh, yeah. You bludgeoning this werewolf. Your tactics there of pincering this monster in is definitely waylaying on this creature as he looks very, very bloodied. About this time, I need everybody to make another perception check. Okay, is that everybody? Alright, Apollo, you're the only one that noticed. There's a humanoid creature on one of the roofs of a nearby building. Other than that, you see a couple of the townspeople who were fighting in different areas. They managed to kill off one of their werewolves. However, there's still more howling in the air. Leo, it is your turn.
Alright, I'll just attack the guy in front of me.
Alright, go ahead and make the attack. That's a hit. And with that, you lash your longsword. And he falls over dead and turns into a human shape. As soon as he dies, two more kind of crop off from other directions. They kind of ran in from different directions and are only able to move into position. They'll take over his werewolf turn.
Leo, can you throw Zareth a heal?
I don't have
On
any.
this turn.
Yeah, he's a
He-
paladin. Still yeah, it's still an action for
Yeah.
him to do it.
Yeah, I don't have a bonus action heal.
Oscar,
Okay.
it is your turn. Cutter?
How much is it to give a potion? Like bonus action?
If you're just handing it off, it'll be a free action, but if you're ministering it, it's an action.
Okay, I'll give it to Zareth.
So you walk by Zareth, then hand him the potion, so we're definitely moving up one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Zareth,
I'll
you
give
now have
him
a
just a
potion
regular
in hand.
potion of healing.
Alright, just a regular potion of healing.
Alright.
And now what are you going to do with your turn?
I'll take another step back and use Scorching Flame on the left
Alright, starting from the left.
werewolf.
Alright, go for it. So that's 3 scorching rays that come out. See your first one. That's a hit. If you want to go ahead and do all the hits, that's 2 hits. That is a miss. Their natural AC is 12, I lied earlier. So a total of 7 damage.
Yeah.
Alright, and with that, Paulo, you're up.
Okay. I will back away up to here. And then
Stranger
I'm gonna
danger.
cast Vicious Mockery on the werewolf on the right side.
That was a wisdom.
Cool.
It fails.
So he takes 1 point of second damage.
Are we doing left or right? I'm sorry.
The right.
One that was near you. Alright, cool.
So
And he has disadvantage on
has a
this.
disadvantage on his next attack.
Alright, so let me... What would be good for disadvantage? Alright.
And then as a bonus action, I'll give our let's see. I'll give our cleric a inspiration.
Just passing out that inspiration.
All right, and that'll be my turn.
Alright, Sarah, what do you want to do?
I would like to use that potion. How much does that give me?
2d4 plus 4, I believe?
Plus
I thought it
two.
was +2, yeah.
Or plus 2, sorry. 2d4 plus 2.
Sam, that's nice. Oh, crap. I would like to move to the werewolf on the left.
Okay.
And then I'd attack it with my short sword. Silver short sword.
Alright.
So
However,
that's 6
you weren't...
piercing damage.
Yeah, he just takes the 6 points of damage. And he kind of turns around and howls at you as he's getting ready for his attack. Which is now. How about that? Sarah.
That hits.
"17 points of damage." That hit hard. I'm sorry. This one here kind of gallops in from the side there and tries to close in on Leo. And with Leo, here's first attack. That's a miss.
Miss.
Why are they rolling low for you, but they're rolling high on the rogue? Like, yeah, okay, Leo, you're just too good. You're not even using a shield, are you?
I am using a shield right now.
Are you? Okay, so yeah, you're basically deflecting these blows, keeping his maul from getting around you, and you're just kind of pushing him back. That's the 2 werewolves' turn. Borden, it is your go. On Borden's turn, let's go ahead and do one more perception check. Borden, as you look around, the wolves are thinning out. You guys are actually making a difference. Like the other groups of people who have been fighting them off, seems like they're having some success. Matter of fact, as you go looking off to one side of the field, you could definitely see the Forge Master. He's equipped a lot of the villagers who help watch the city with silver weapons. So everybody's been fighting effectively, trying to fend them off. But that's not what catches your eye. What catches your eye is a similar creature that you've ran into once or twice already. And she seems to be standing on top of one of the roofs nearby, just kind of cackling to herself.
I believe it'd be safe to assume this is our lovely white tiefling there.
Pretty much.
Our pet!
Yep, you recognize the sounds. Alright, Borden, what do you want to do?
I'm going to move in here.
Now you have flank.
And while I don't have any kind of, aggro pulling ability, I will mock him. I've seen scarier stuffed animals before I swing with this warhammer.
I'll let you make a intimidation check to see if you can pull hate.
Oh shit, I had an advantage from the flanking thing I
I
ticked
can
over.
do that. Let me roll wisdom on his here. Yeah, he's kind of turned his attention towards you and he's now snarling. So go ahead and make your attack. That's a hit. 6 bludgeoning damage. The cleric is beating these werewolves up. And with that, you bring your hammer down, slam it into him just to prove a point, and he's definitely focused on you now. Leo, what would you like to do?
I'll just swing at him, the guy in front of me.
Quick question, Apollo. The fish's mockery, that was only for one swing, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that would be off, but go ahead.
And I'll use my inspiration.
Okay. Hey.
Oh,
Oh, that sucks.
Oh. Yep, so you swung a little wide, and even with the inspiration, it just wasn't inspiring enough to hit this werewolf as you kind of lose out of the way of your swing. Oscar, you are up, unless Leo, you want to do anything else. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can.
nope, I'm good.
Alright, so with that, Oscar, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to try to take down the left as soon as possible. So, instead of missing this time, I'm going to actually use something that can't miss.
Magic missile?
Yeah,
Alright, go ahead and roll your damage.
all three, or yeah,
all
all
three,
of
go
these.
for it. Yeah. It's probably going to take all three, so go for it. Points of force damage as 3 magic missiles formulate in the air. They come swirling around and bap, 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 and this werewolf's getting pelted by invisible forces as the missiles impact on its body and just kind of rattles him around. He's just kind of looking for where that came from. Anything else on your turn?
I'll move up a little bit and I'll end.
Alright, so with that, Oscar kind of moves in. Apollo, what would you like to do?
Alright, I will cast Vicious Mockery again on my wolf on the right.
So wisdom save, alright. Oh, wow. He failed.
Alright. Takes 3 psychic damage, and he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Alright. Yeah, with that, you imbue these words with runic descent and mock him viciously. Unless there's something you want to really mock him with.
So I'll just give him the run-of-the-mill, mock. But I'll just move up and that'll end my turn.
Your mother was a cat. Alright. Zareth, your turn.
How far is Minerva from my current position, and do I have a clear shot on her?
She's about 100 feet away from you. And you are not aware of her because you rolled low on your perception.
God damn it. In that case, I'm just going to attack the werewolf in front of me with my silver short sword.
Alright.
I am flanking, right?
Yes, so you would have advantage. So that's a hit. And you get sneak attack, so that's what, 13? And this one here is starting to look bloody. You come in there and stab it right in the back with your short sword. Blood starts to spill out as it kind of whirls back its shoulder blades.
And then I would like to disengage.
You use your bonus action to disengage. Go ahead and move. Yeah, werewolf's turn. That one took a bite from the back, but however, its attacker left. Borden.
It's also intimidated, isn't it?
Yeah, Borden's going to get in either way. Bite misses, but I'm pretty sure that claw attack hits. So 8 slashing damage on Borden. Leo, bite attack. That's a whiff. And this is at disadvantage. 18 hit?
Nope.
Really? Alright, there you go. And disadvantage goes away. With that. So, the battered up wolf, he misses with the bite on Borden, but however, he kind of slips his claw underneath the shield and manages to gash him. The other werewolf just kind of swings at air and bashes his face off the shield of Leo. Borden, you are now up. What would you like to do?
I'll be making my attack. And I will go ahead and burn that inspiration.
Go for it. And even with inspiration, that does not hit. So you swing a little wide with your hammer. With that, Leo, it is your turn unless you wanted to move or do anything else there. Borden, was there anything else you needed to do?
No, I'm good.
Alright,
I've got no bonuses.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure I get everybody's turn fully. I don't want to just accidentally skip over anybody. Leo, what would you like to do?
I'll shout out, focus the other guy till he's dead, and then come back me up. And I'm just gonna take a swing at the guy in front of me.
Alright, go ahead and make your attack. Nice. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, I'm also gonna pour Divine Smite into this.
Absolutely. Go right ahead. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus Divine Smite. Seriously, wow. Casting it at a higher level, or I believe that's how that
No, since it's a crit, it also gets doubled.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, so 2d8. All right, yeah, 22. So what was that? 34 damage? Am I reading right?
Yep, 34.
Trying to math quickly. That crippled him pretty much. He's like howling in pain now as he feels the gash across his chest. He's kind of holding it for a minute and he's staring at you with these snarling teeth. Angry look, and he's definitely not liking that. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nope, I'm good.
Alright, with that, Oscar, you are up.
I will raise my left hand and shoot a firebolt to the left.
To the left, to the left.
Werewolf.
Go ahead and make your attack roll. That's a hit. Your fire kind of singes it on the right shoulder blade as it kind of pats it out, trying to get it from burning him intensely. So he's charred, but he's still standing. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Just out of curiosity, if I use a quicken spell, can I use a scroll?
That is a good question.
I don't think
I
so,
don't think
because
you can, yeah,
um,
because it has to
okay,
be your
as a
sorcerer abilities.
sorcerer, you draw your magic powers from your blood,
Yeah,
and a
so
scroll
that-
is an external power source, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Yeah, so
Okay,
yeah, that's
I'll
that.
probably just
It was
skip
a
over
good
that.
thought, though. That was a good thought. Doesn't hurt to ask, because even I was considering it. Alright, so with that, Apollo, you are up. Unless you wanted to use Quicken Spell for something else, Cutter.
No.
Alright.
No, I'm trying to save on my spells.
Gotcha.
Alright, I will move up to here, and I will use my rapier.
What kind of rapier is this, by the way? Just a regular
It's
rapier?
just a simple rapier.
Alright, so go ahead and roll damage. You hit, by the way.
This is something you have to type out.
Now you click the name of your rapier there right above your name in the little box.
Yeah, click rapier underneath the 14. Yeah, and then it rolls your damage.
There.
You go in there to pierce it, right? And then all of a sudden, the werewolf kind of turns at you and looks. Your weapon pokes into its flesh, however, it bounces back out and doesn't look like it did any damage at all. So he just gives you a snarling, thanks for scratching that itch for me kind of look.
And that will be my turn.
Alright. No bonus action or anything?
Nope.
Alright, Sarah, your turn.
I see that, and I move towards Apollo.
Just to reiterate, Leo gave a command to kill the one on the left first.
Yeah,
Right,
I know,
it's up
but
to you.
I'm going
It's
to
up to
pat. I'm going to pass a silver short sword to him.
Alright. So Sarah walks over and passes off the silver short sword.
And as and then as a bonus action, I would like to use my greater healing potion.
Alright, go ahead and roll it.
And that is 4d4.
Yeah, I think that one's 44 plus 4.
That's a nice heal.
And then I move towards the guy on the left. And attack him with my silver sword.
Alright, go ahead and make your attack. 44 plus 4, yeah. So 8 plus 7.
15.
Well, with that, you managed to kill that one. So you go over there with your sword and you quickly swipe as you get in flanking position and draw that short sword across the upper half of this werewolf and manage to slash in, get a good bite, and slash out as he falls over and crumples to the floor. And with that, decisions. He's not having any luck biting Leo. And seeing this fresh meat that just walked up to him, I think he would take his attack out on him. So
Even though I dealt 34 damage to him?
he's, well, you know what? I'm indecisive.
Roll for it.
Yeah, you get odd. No, he's going after him. Paulo, a bite. AC's higher than 11, I take it, right?
Yep. Does not hit.
Alright, so no worry, he missed completely. Borden, you're up.
Make it there with my lovely 25-foot move speed there.
Alright. Go ahead and make your attack, or whatever you want to do. That's a hit. Nice. Bring the hammer down, bash into him, and he is definitely looking hurt. You can see him kind of crippling over, and he's debating on whether or not he should try to run, but he seems lost.
See, so you must have been the runt of the litter, eh?
If you're going to try to hold hate, you can roll an intimidation check.
I'll certainly try.
Yeah, go ahead. He doesn't seem to be bothered by that nonsense. Leo, it is your turn, I believe.
Alright, I'll just take a swing at him.
Alright, go ahead, make that attack. That is a hit. That is very close to dead now. You could definitely see your attacks making lashing wounds on this creature as he's bloody from head to toe now and he's looking very hurt.
And then I'll just yell at him, "You look like my sister."
Roll an intimidation check.
Might be insulting to your sister.
Might be.
That you've got some weird furry fetish and incest issues.
Yeah, you're both kind of locking eyes with each other like, what did you just say? Oscar, you're up.
I think I'm just going to squirt firebolt. So I'll just hold my left hand up and shoot.
Alright, go ahead and roll your... And a 12 will hit. And that fireball toasts him the rest of the way. He's kind of looking dumbfounded over there at the paladin's last remark, then all of a sudden a fireball hits him in the forehead and he falls over dead. Seems that issue about your sister has been resolved. Alright, so the immediate threat is now over. There's like maybe one or two crowds still working on a werewolf, but it isn't long. But like by the time you get there, it's over. They're done. One more perception check all around. Perception, sorry. Everybody who rolled above 15, you kind of seen where Minerva was. However, you could definitely see her stepping away from her position and then just vanishing. As you get closer to the other battles, and definitely like the one where you were tossing out Sacred Flame, they just finished their creature off, and then everybody's just kind of hunched over. Everybody's panting, breathing, the fighting just kind of warm on. And you definitely see the Forge Master looking up at everybody. He kind of come over and greet
I
you.
tuck away the silver short swords real quick.
Okay. Well, you only have one now.
Wait, is there anyone I can see that's downed and might need stabilization? I can throw a Spare the Dying on them.
Let me roll for that just to kind of see here. There's like two people who were kind of down on the ground. You might be able to stabilize one, but the other one looks like they're gone.
Alrighty, and then would you like me to make a medicine check to see if they are inflicted with a lycanthropy?
Yes, you can. And I'll just roll. See if they got it. You do notice bite marks on his neck, and he's definitely wincing from it. And Sarah seems to be doing the same kind of wincing.
thought-
I saved my saving. I made my saving throw.
No, you did not.
Oh, okay.
On the first bite, he got you, and that's why you got that emblem by your name. About this time, you definitely hear, like, if there was any more werewolves that were coming in, they seem to be scattering, either from being overly damaged or overwhelmed. And you guys helped defend this town off from 3, where there took, like, several groups to kind of get around one and just do the pitchfork to the face type thing to it.
Would I know if how the werewolves turn other people into werewolves? Like, is that a disease or a poison?
Borden would know just by being a cleric. A paladin, I'll let you make a either history or religion. Yeah, with that, you're very aware that if somebody gets bit by these things and they're not able to resist the bite, they're definitely going to get infected and be a cause of lycanthropy.
Is it a disease?
Would a cure disease work on? Is that what you're asking me? Or like your
I have this.
lay on hands?
I can cure diseases and poisons.
That is an interesting question.
I believe, technically speaking, it's a curse, not necessarily
Yeah.
a disease, even though it is transmitted by bite.
Yeah, I would think that would be too easy if you were able to do that with lay on hands anyway. So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
But definitely, yeah. Like anything else, like a poison, venom bite, or something like that, that would definitely work. But yeah, this here
It does say
disease
it's
is a curse.
cursed in the
Yeah.
description.
Yeah, so this is a curse. Okay, so yeah, the Forge Master is kind of gathering up everybody, making sure everybody's safe, and village seems to be on lockdown. However, everybody is making sure that the immediate threat is gone, and they kind of gather up and let's see. This one older gentleman, he kind of comes up to you guys, and he's like, "Oh, you guys, you managed to kill 3 where it took many of us to just take 1. You guys have done this city a good favor. And he holds out this key. By all means, why don't you take this key?
It'd be our honor.
Alright, who wants to take it?
Also,
As Sarah steps forward,
I'm gonna not let him do that.
So
I'm sorry.
So Borden takes it? Is that what I'm hearing? So he,
I will definitely put my hands out for the key as I approach him, saying it'd be our honor.
alright, so he hands you this metal key made of iron from the looks of it. Doesn't look like it fits any particular lock, but he hands it to you. He said, this here will give you a safe place to be, if ever out in the open. And he kind of folds your hand into it. Take care of it, and use it as you need. And he kind of walks away from you, and he looks like he's talking to a few of the other villagers who are still gathering their senses, and they're definitely checking on who's dead and who's dying and who's hurt, who's wounded. Other than that, you guys are.
So would it be safe to assume he's a mayor of some kind?
No, he's an elder at least, as far as you know.
I think it'd be prudent to ask him, what would you like us, or what would you do with villagers who may have been afflicted with lycanthropy from this attack?
Oh, well, that could be a problem. I don't think we have any village clerics. This is a village after all. Oh boy, that would present a problem, wouldn't it? Let me look up something real quick though. And I think this would go with the bard. Let's see here. I wrote you a thing called Cities and Places. The closest clerical place would be Cardiff, and that's south of here some ways. They're all kind of debating, and basically the elders like, maybe we should see about getting the page to go see if they can fetch the cleric who could perform this. So that's basically the ruckus that's going on right now. Whether or not you guys want to help in this is up to you, but other than that, you guys are kind of left to the evening to yourself as the major threat kind of dies out. Several guards are definitely on high alert right now, trying to make sure no more of these werewolves are sneaking into the city and causing chaos.
can I look on the werewolves that we struck down and see if there's anything on that might lead us to a possible place they might be gathering at?
I'll let you roll investigation there, see what they have.
Oh, no.
What'd you roll?
Got a 5 on that.
Oh, you're right.
Anyway, is there any like way that they would have anything on them at all?
Would they have what?
Like, is it worth using to detect magic? What do you think? Because I am going to probably use it if we have time.
It's up to you. Amazingly enough, and ironically, the werewolf has 14 silver pieces on him.
Maybe that's why he was so mad.
Such irony, right? So, are we going to give Oscar time to do the detect?
That's what I was just about to ask everyone. Does anyone mind if I see if I can detect any magic around here?
Go ahead.
I'm not sure what the time would be, but I would like to get some sleep and maybe get back some spells before we head out.
Yeah, the city is starting to die down from activity, and their wounded are being tended to, and the contaminated are being coraled. As a matter of fact, Zareth, you might be getting coraled too unless you do anything to avoid it.
I'll go stealth and see if I can sneak in an alleyway.
Alright, go ahead and roll your stealth check. And Oscar, as soon as you cast Detect Magic, you look towards Borden, and that key is glowing. Other than that, you don't detect any magic on the corpses or anything. And with that, I'll let you guys make one more perception check all around.
They call me Stevie Wonder.
Well, Oscar, since you were kind of looking in that direction as you noticed the key, you're thinking, oh, hey, where'd that guy that... And he's gone. The guy that gave you the key is not there anymore.
Is there any... Can I have that key for just a second?
By the way, do I need to make a perception check as well, or am I already in the alleyways?
Well, you're already hidden. I mean, you can make a perception check just to be looking around.
I see a wall.
Yes, you do. You managed to hide very well that you can't even see what's in front of your face. With that, yeah, you just get the idea that that key has some magical properties to it. And
Seeing as he's asked for it, I'll let him.
Alright, so Oscar, you get the key now.
Can I use an Arcana check to kind of see if it's a, if it's a helpful ability that it has, or?
Go ahead and roll your Arcana check. You get the sensation that if you were to push this key into the air and twist it as if it was inside a lock, a magical door of some sort would appear and allow you to enter into something.
Can I tell if what I enter into is good or bad?
As far as you know, it would be good.
Okay.
Just go for now. I'll be there in a minute. Sorry, getting interrupted.
One thing I doubt that I would know this, but is it just a one-time use, or?
As you're kind of sensitive with that Arcana check, you can definitely tell there are like 3 charges left on this key, and they don't feel like they recharge. So once this is expended, you feel like the key will just crumple up into dust.
Okay. I will give the key back to Barden and tell him to don't use this unless we really need to. But it can only be used 3 times. And it provides a safe haven, I think. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, so basically if you write it down, you have a magical iron key that could summon a safe haven of sorts. And with that, I will be right back. However, feel free to continue talking about what's going on in the area, and then when I get back, we'll go ahead and get back to the end. So if there's anything else you guys want to discuss, I will be listening, but go ahead and do that while I tend to an errand real quick.
Hey, has anyone seen Zareth?
I assume since I rebuffed him on his attempt to get this key, he's off sulking somewhere or hiding.
We better keep an eye on him. I think he might have gotten bitten.
If he got bit, that's something we'll have to face when it comes to it. He was so interested in werewolves, after all.
Did you see any temples here, Barden?
Seeing as they're sending a page out of town to fetch a cleric, I do not believe they have a temple. Unfortunately, the power to remove this curse is beyond me currently.
Alright, so here's the skivvy. You guys all survived this fight. You are now going to be able to level up to 4. This is a milestone for you guys. And with that, you all return to the inn. And would level 4 give you what you need in order to fix Sarah?
I'm pulling that up now since you just said something about it.
Yeah, because that was my intention, to get you through this scenario. And since you guys went ahead and progressed the story...
Would lesser restoration do it?
That's diseases and conditions, not curses, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Star, I scrolled up a bit and I sent you a screen dump of my saving roll. It's at 14, I'm not sure
No, it was higher than that.
if that makes it.
Wasn't it like a 12 or a 13 though?
It is a 12 that I needed to make. Yes.
You're also assuming he's using base monster manual.
Yes,
He could have
that's
changed
true.
these.
Well, no, there was. Let's see here. There were 2 attacks made. One of them did. Like the very first attack was the one that got you, from what I remember.
Okay, I'm a werewolf. Yippee-yo.
Zareth, is that you? Alright, bud.
Are you guys at the inn? Are you guys at the inn?
Yeah, I believe they all
We'd be
returned.
making our way that way
Making our way
currently.
to the inn.
Okay, I'll follow along in the shadows.
Yeah, I'm just double checking something here as well.
Remove curse is a 3rd level spell. I don't think I get that until level 5.
Yep, so you're out of luck. You might have to suffer the curse.
At least until we get there.
Well, there's an Arcana shop. I wonder if that would remove curse spell.
Yeah, I was planning to check that in the morning.
Although I don't know if I could use it. I could try.
I figure if you couldn't use a divine scroll, I'd be able to, but that's neither here nor there.
I believe there's a wizard scroll that's also remove curse. For
Oh,
sorcerer.
I'm level 4, so I get a feat now, don't I?
So here's what we're gonna
Peter
do.
ability score improvement.
That was... Just double checking something here. Maybe he's not cursed. I'm double checking. Could have sworn it got him on one of the bites though. Maybe I was just thinking it did.
Well, I got a scratch and a bite. I got hit by the claw attack, but not the bite.
Yeah.
No, wait. I didn't get hit by the scratch attack, but the bite attack I did get hit by, but I made the saving throw.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think
Something
that. I
like
think
that.
I thought it was 15 instead of 12. That's probably what it was. Alright, he's fine. He got out of it. My bad, guys. I really did want to kill. Make sure something fun happened.
Oh well, it would have been funny.
Yeah. Alright, you're alright. You're alright. You felt like you were gonna hurt, but you're not. So yeah, the city is actually gonna send pages down to try to retrieve a cleric to come take care of their wounded, who were also inflicted. You kind of see them corralling them into like a safe haven building of sorts, kind of isolating them from the rest of the town village. Unless you make any further investigation on that, there's nothing else really to tell you about that. You make your way back to the inn as well to try to get some much needed sleep. Town is definitely dying down. The barkeep lets you all back in. It's like, good fighting out there, you guys. Good job, good job. And yeah, the Forge Master seemed to not notice that you had a couple of his weapons that were laying around, but you kind of suspect he kind of forgot where they were anyway because of the tussle that was going on. With that, is there anything you guys wish to accomplish before night, or before you go back to resting?
I would like to go to Apollo and request that second silver sword back.
Yeah. There you go.
Alright, there you
I don't
go.
think I need it, to be honest, but I appreciate the thought during the combat.
You're more than welcome. And I carefully take the sword and put it on my back.
Alright. So now you got 2 silver short swords in your inventory. Trying to think what else needs to happen here. So yeah, unless you have any other business for the rest of the night, you can go ahead and turn in, get a full rest for everybody, and you can all finish leveling up to level 4. And with that, I will say we can take a short break. Take about
Yeah, sure.
10-15 minutes, use the restroom, grab something to eat, and finish leveling
That's a
up.
quick side note. Can I use my inspiration on my HP roll for my new level?
No, you cannot.
No.
Nice
I
job.
had to
That would be
try.
a cheat.
I need
Had to try.
inspiration. I need some
Technically,
inspiration. It's not a
If this
saving
was a
throw.
short rest, I could actually give you an extra d6 of healing on top of the short rest healing.
But you'll all be able to go ahead and take a long rest after tonight. So yeah, go ahead and level up to 4 now. And we'll roll hit dice as soon as we get back from break or in between breaks. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream for now.
By the way, I
Hey,
think
how's it
we
going,
have
Gaming?
a
Yeah.
viewer.
And we'll take it. Well, actually, we could take a look and see who's joining us in chat there. But
I'm gonna
I
take
did
a
not
flat,
manage to add my modifier to that roll.
all right,
I'm a
guys.
genius.
I will definitely take advantage of the 15-minute break here. If you're just now joining us, how you doing there, Brett? Hope you're liking the stream so far. We just got done killing some werewolves. Our guys are going to be leveling up to level 4 here. We're going to roll some hit dice, and we're going to get right back into the action. So stick around. Enjoy the game. And you guys go ahead and talk amongst yourself, and I will be right back. I'll go ahead and leave the stream running, so go ahead.
Now I will be taking a quick break as well.
I'll be kicking around here if I can get Twitch to load up so I can see what people are saying.
I'm gonna take the flat health increase. Let's see. And I get one more second level spell, yay. And another cantrip.
Yeah, I'm just taking the average roll as well, and I get another spell slot, which is nice. So I can have 3 divine smites for a long rest.
Nice. Alright, let's see.
So on leveling up, do I go from 3 to 4 sorcery points, or do I just stay at 3 until I get a long rest?
We're taking a long rest during the break. We won't be leaving town until our long rest is finished, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm tempted just to roll my HP increase.
I shall, see.
Figured I'd burn a hit die before this long rest anyway, just to help shore it up, but it wouldn't matter.
Currently, I have for my cantrips Vicious Mockery and Light. Do you think I should take Minor Illusion or Prestidigitation?
I mean, prestidigitation is good for cleaning shit off if you get stuff thrown at you like tomatoes because you're an awful bard.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I mean, I
Plus, you
gotta
can
take
make
pot
stuff
shots
dirty as
somewhere.
well.
I think, because I can also take Mending, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know when I'll be using that.
Mage Hand would be cool.
Yeah, I'll actually take Mage Hand. I'm thinking about it.
Alright, Borden, is that your official HP roll?
That was a hit die, but then I realized it doesn't matter because we're getting a long rest anyway.
Oh, okay. Because I was listening. I'm just saying. All right. If
Star
anybody-
just says, I'm taking the flat.
You're taking the
roll.
average. All right. Anybody who is
Leo's
rolling-
taking average too.
All right. Oscar, is that your HP?
Yeah.
All right. Congrats. Anybody
Yeah, I'm
else
gonna roll the
rolling?
die. Why not?
There you go. Anybody else rolling,
Take
or
it.
are they taking flat?
No, I'm trying to figure. Wait, I can take a flat 8.
Mm,
No, you take the
Whatever-
average for the
whatever
hit
the
die.
average is. There's like a rule in the book that says you either take the roll of an average that they have, or you take a roll. Just do your roll. What class are you again? Who am I talking to?
I'm rogue, so I get a 1d8. But what are the
4 or
modifiers
5.
used? I can't seem to find out.
Well, you roll 1d8 and you add your Constitution modifier. And
Yeah.
rogue,
And I added 1 for the Draconic Resilience. I get 1
believe
every level.
it's 5. If you don't want to risk getting anything below 5, you can just take 5. And it'll be 5 plus
I'll
your
just take 5 then.
Alright, then it's 5 plus your Constitution.
That makes an 8.
Alright. Anybody else want to roll dice, or do we need to go over anything for level 4 for anybody? While we're in break.
Okay, so getting Ritual Caster, I get 2 level 1 spells, right?
Oh
Of
yeah,
the
that's
class
right.
that I took.
Everybody gets a tribute bonus, or feat. I'm sorry, go ahead. What was that again?
I get 2 first level spells, right? For
Yeah.
the class that I chose for the ritual.
Yeah, you chose Wizard.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can pick 2 spells to add to your ritual book.
Okay.
I'm finally taking an oath, and I think I'll take the Oath of Vengeance.
Oath of Vengeance. Alright. Yeah, if
Hey, Star, how does concentration work? Can I still cast spells while I'm concentrating, or?
if you can concentrate on one spell, and as long as another spell doesn't require concentration, I know there's a lot of different plays on this, but I'm gonna say like you can concentrate on one spell and cast another spell as long as it doesn't take your concentration. So if you're switching from one concentration spell to another, then you're gonna lose one of the effects.
Okay. So I can still keep concentration while casting another spell as an action, as long
Yes.
as it doesn't require concentration.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't require concentration. That's the way I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
I know like some of the others are like different. Yep,
Okay.
and if you do get hit, you have to roll concentration saves, so your concentration could get in with the hit. Now, anything else we need to go over for level 4? Like I said, like it was just brought up, you can either choose to upgrade your stats +2, or you could take a feat. So,
No, I flat out increased my dexterity to 20.
alright. Anybody else taking feats? Or are we just doing abilities?
Well, I would like double wield.
Well,
need
the
to
only way you
my,
can get those feats is by taking that. Well, here's the thing. Now, with the two-handed weapon fighting, you got to do one of two things. Or actually, you're going to have to do two things, to be quite honest. You're either going to have to take the feat for what it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. And you're going to have to multi-class into either fighter or ranger in order to get the two-weapon fighting style, which is totally different, but definitely adds to your modifier, I believe.
Yeah, Bob. That
One,
I would
one will
sacrifice.
one will allow you to use any one-handed weapon and give you bonus AC, and the other gives you two-weapon fighting style for your ability modifier on offhand.
I thought there was a feat for dual wielding on
Yeah.
its own.
There
yeah,
is.
there
Yeah.
is. I think it's the dueler or whatever. Dual wielder.
It,
Up that
Yeah.
that doesn't allow you to make a second strike in.
No, this one here lets you get a +1 bonus to AC while you are wielding a separate melee weapon in each hand. You can use 2-weapon fighting even when the one-handed melee weapon is not light. It's just basically saying you can use 2 long swords or whatever, or 2 rapiers. You can draw or stow. Yeah, this is just speed of taking them out. It's the same as taking one out. That's the feat, but that adds the bonus AC. But like I said, if you want to get 2-weapon fighting style, you're going to have to take ranger or fighter in order to get that.
Yeah, and that is not worthwhile for the few times that I can attack and will need damage.
My last campaign, we had an assassin rogue, and I think she took 3 levels of ranger to get the 2-weapon fighting style and get some additional, I think they had a cure wounds at that point, level 1 spells. Something
Yeah,
like that.
Ranger would definitely be the class to go with because it gives you that little bit more over far. I'm not entirely sure if I want to go that route yet.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I think I am gonna go ahead and take a feat because I only need really 1 point for my wisdom to go up a modifier. So
Alright.
So I can't use a level 3 spell until I get level 3 slot, can I? For my ritual casting.
Let me check that out. Are you reading
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna
rule on
look
it?
at it.
When you choose this feat, you acquire a ritual book with 2 first level spells of your choice. Choose one of the following classes, which you did. You must choose your spell from that class list. The class you choose also determines your spell casting ability for these spells. Well, no, I think if you come across these spells, you can add them to the book.
Okay, so it can't be any more than half my level.
Lowest
So
level can,
I have to be level 6 to use level 3.
there you go. Yeah, I just got to that point too. And then it costs a little bit of money to add them to your book.
Or level 5 because it's rounded up. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there's some suggestions in the chat there for you if you need help running your road, getting mobile. That's the thing. But if you already took
Yeah,
dexterity though, that's
doesn't
also a
really.
thing.
Jep doesn't really show up here on this screen for some reason. It doesn't even do so when I
No,
actually log in.
Yeah, with mobile you increase your speed by 10 feet. When you use dash action, I can talk. Difficult terrain doesn't cost extra movement. That's kind of cool. And when you make a melee attack against a creature, you don't provoke opportunity attacks from that creature for the rest of your turn, whether you hit or not. Yeah, mobile is pretty OP. So you
One
can
more.
swing and just walk away. You wouldn't even have to waste your bonus action to disengage at that point. Unless there was more than one enemy right there waiting for you.
one more thing about the ritual caster. It says that I need 50 gold per level of the spell that I'm getting.
Doesn't
Is
count for the
that-
first 2. That's
Okay.
what yeah, you don't have to worry about it on the first 2. I'm not going to make you waste money on that right now.
Since I'm first level fighter, 3rd level paladin, I don't get a feat or a increase in
Well, you're a 4th level
ability score.
character.
Are you going by a character level?
Well, that's the way I've always been thinking it was done, because that's going to be kind of off either way, wouldn't it? No, you're right. It should be by your class level, because fighter has so many more opportunities to get the feats. So yeah, as soon as you get to 4 on paladin, you'll be able to do it. Alright, with that, is there any other business we need to attend to on your level? Everybody back from break?
So I think I'm set.
Yeah,
I
think I'm
am
good.
gonna take the. I think I'm gonna take the lucky feat.
Oh, yeah. Apollo, that'll be nice.
There you go. It's a good one.
Apollo is feeling lucky. Might have helped out on those rolls
Very.
in the east, huh?
Only I had it then.
If only. Alright. So yeah, you guys go ahead and get you a long rest. So if we're ready to go, I'll go ahead and get back into the narrative. Just to check. Oscar, you're here, right?
Yes.
Borden?
Gotcha.
Leo?
Yep.
Sarah?
Copy.
And Apollo.
Here.
Alright, everybody's accounted for. So yeah, you guys get your long rest, you feel refreshed, and now you feel a little bit stronger from it as you leveled up. Let's see. How would you all like to start the morning? Or actually, it would be probably afternoon.
Well, I will go downstairs and start recording the scroll of the Tensor's floating disk into my ritual book.
Alright. So you're, see, you picked 2 already and you're adding that one, right?
Yeah.
So that would be 50 gold piece on that one?
Yeah.
Alright. And with that, it's not quite afternoon, it's like 10 in the morning at this point. Forge Master kind of knows where you guys are staying. He's actually sitting down there at the inn portion of the tavern. Just kind of casually.
Sorry, can you repeat yourself? I couldn't make out what you were saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Forge Master that you guys were sent to bring back to the war camp, he kind of comes into the inn and he's sitting down at a table, just kind of waiting for you guys to come down. So whenever you guys decide to come down, is there anything you want to accomplish in the morning before you talk to the Forge Master or whatnot? Getting breakfast and a meal or anything, we'll just go ahead and say you're able to do that.
I'd like to try to get some plate armor.
Oh, yeah.
Who has the building?
I'm sorry, you cut out there. What'd you say?
I want Zareth wants to know who has the bag of holding.
Yeah, who does have the bag of holding?
Borden does.
I thought you had it. I was just keeping track of what was in it.
Oh, we can do that, yeah. So I got it.
So, Borden, do you think that silver load that we can tuck that in that bag holding of ours instead of dragging it along on a cart?
Mechanically, it's 64 cubic feet, 500 pounds. So that depends on how much crap there's to carry.
You can definitely put those weapons in there if that's what you're wanting to do.
No, I wanted to put the silver in it, but I would also like to put the silver weapons in there, yes.
Oh, wait, what did you want to put in there?
The silver ore from the cart we are supposed to bring back.
Oh,
Bring
yeah.
back.
You're not even supposed to be worrying about that.
But I would like to put my silver weapons in there as well, temporarily. And not a word about the commander about their silver weapons. Should be providing them to us as well.
Alright, so you
I
guys
don't see you having 4 arms. I don't see why you would need 4 silvered swords.
Well, having extras doesn't hurt. They might take.
Do you plan on throwing them or losing them?
No, but I'm worried about knives, and I would like the commander to mention those a couple of sets. And yes, those can be thrown.
Oh, so are we making sense of what's going on here? You're asking for...
No, I'm trying to convince the group not to say anything about me getting silver weapons.
Alright, so yeah, you guys are trying to keep it on the down low that you're, you didn't take those weapons. With that, you guys kind of come downstairs. You see the Forge Master there. He's just kind of nursing an ale, waiting for you guys to come down. And Leo, if you wanted to discuss that plate mail with him, you probably can before you guys set out.
Yeah, I was gonna head downstairs as soon as the long rest is up.
Alright. Yeah, you kind of see him down there waiting for you guys, and oh, there you are. That was a hell of a fight last night, wasn't it?
That was crazy last night, huh?
Yes, them werewolves are a problem, so I guess we better get to that war camp of yours if you're seeing more of these furry creatures out in that direction.
Yeah, speaking of which, did you pick up quite a bit of silver ore?
Well, we managed to pick up what we can, and we put it in order to this town down south of Cadrift. They'll send whatever ore they have. So, that page who went down to pick up the cleric, he's taking a message down there as well. So we'll get that taken care of one way or another. I do say, let's get ready and head out, because I got all my gear set up. I got whatever ore we need, and I got a wagon ready to go. So if there's
One more thing before we head out here. Do you got any full plate armor?
Full plate? Why, yes, I finished one up the other night. Tell you what, come back to my shop and we'll go ahead and see if we can't suit you in it.
Perfect.
Alright, so he'll take you off, and anybody else want to go with him, or are you guys just going to hang out here, or what do you want to do? So everybody has a choice.
This kind of takes 2 hours to do, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
focus
so
on it right
you're
now.
occupied.
I'm
I'll
gonna go
join-
with them.
Who's the
will
one
just start
transcribing
studying.
in the spellbook?
I'm sorry, let's go one at a time. Who's doing what? Starting with Apollo.
Who's transcribing in their spellbook?
Oscar's, Oscar's got a ritual.
I'll join and study what's going on. Just see, your methods, and just trying to learn as much as I can from what he's doing.
Alright, Zara.
I would like to start studying a book on lycanthropy.
Alright, and Borden? You're going with Leo?
I'll be going with them because I'm the accountant, as it were.
Ah, okay, good. So starting with Leo and Borden, you guys see this big black wagon, high canvas, and definitely if you were to look at the back of the flap underneath the canvas, you can see a lot of equipment, a lot of gear, even pre-made silver weapons that are already ready to be used. He kind of escorts you into the smithy. You can see his apprentice is fast at work making like iron ore and other materials to kind of pre-make weapons and everything. Nothing too major, just the basic stuff as far as smithing goes. And he kind of leads you back into a mannequin that has a full plate armor that's all decked out, that obviously the apprentice didn't know where it was. He points it out. This here, 1,500 gold. She'll keep you safe.
Sounds good. Here's 150 platinum.
Ah, platinum. Much lighter. And he takes the platinum from you and he hands you the plate mail, so you'll be able to don
But
that.
what about a haggling, though? Like,
Nope. He already handed it over, so yep. He took that 1,500 and left with it.
Yep. Can I put that on right away?
Yeah, you can start donning it. It takes a little while to put on plate mail, if I recall correctly.
our viewers can't see this, but my face is just got a massive handprint on it from the face palm there.
A half-orc didn't know better. And yeah, you see the forge master just kind of smiling and putting away the money. So, while you're getting all dressed up, we'll head out in about 2 or 3 hours. Got a few more minor things, so if there's anything else you need to do around town, go ahead and get that done, and I'll meet you here whenever we're ready. And he kind of walks off and lets you continue getting dressed in your plate mail if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And switching back to Zareth, if you want to make an
Yes.
investigation check into your book, see, is there anything you're trying to learn exactly about the lycanthropies or whatnot?
Basically, about how to effectively get those creatures killed.
Yeah, well, you've... Go ahead and roll investigation then.
Oh, just stab them with a knife. That will work.
It's an average roll. It's fine. And you know, you get from what you've already learned from last night, silver weapons are very effective, and also weapons that are magically imbued. And when it's magically imbued, it has to be something that gives it a +1 property of sorts, not like just a light spell on it, like some certain weapons.
So it has to be a magical weapon, an enchanted one.
Yeah. So that's about the gist of what you get.
Alright.
All right, and Oscar, you've managed to finish your ritual book while Paulo reads over your shoulder.
Guess I'm going to test it out real quick. I will start ritual casting Tensor's floating disc.
And what does it take, like 10 minutes?
I think like one or 10. Yeah.
Yeah, you spend time ritual casting that, and then all of a sudden there's a floating disc 3 feet in front of you, or from the ground, and I forget how big it actually was. How big was it? You got a spell card, right?
Yeah, it is 3 feet in diameter and 1 inch thick.
Alright, so yeah, you have a floating disc in front of you.
I guess I will start going toward the forge because I'm going to use it to help move the silver.
Alright. By the time you get over to the forge, you're going to find out everything else was kind of loaded up already.
Assuming he's hasn't dispelled the floating disc, I'm gonna stand on top of it and just cast light on it. So it's a light podium, you know, just shining bright. I'm just gonna stand on it, and as it follows him, the disc, I'm just gonna stand on it and just look marvelous.
Ah, yes, shiny. You want to put on a performance while you're up there?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
Adds to the dazzle.
Yes, yes. Go ahead and do a performance check while floating on a disc. Wasn't your best performance. Maybe you were kind of wobbling a little bit as the disc kind of moved and jittered from here to there. And yeah, you catch a couple of people hearing your tune, and it lightens the mood because there was some tragedy the night before, but you definitely see some smiles. That's the only reward you get for your music.
Okay.
Alright. And that will last for 1 hour.
Okay, so if I don't see anyone at the forge, then I guess I will go back to the tavern and wait for them there.
If you're going to the forge, you're going to realize that Leo and Borden are there, and you can definitely see Leo getting donned with the plate mail.
Oh, okay. I will join them.
Yeah, you see his purchase, and he's got this shiny new plate mail that he's trying to fit himself into, and Borden's got this big old face palm on his head.
Did you just buy that?
Yeah, this armor here.
What price did you get for it?
The usual 1500.
Does Oscar face palm too?
Did you go down at all?
No, I didn't.
And there's a giant face print on my hand.
I felt bad for taking the guy's armor or silver weapons.
Please tell me you're not saying this with him in the damn shop.
No.
He already left. He's got other errands that he had to do. You did what?
Has he loaded up all the silver ore that we're taking?
Yeah, they have a separate wagon that's being loaded up with it.
Well, if there's no room left, I could use the disc.
Alright, tell you what. Since the apprentice says, oh, you want to use that disc to do that, kind of catching on to what you're trying to do, he'll take you to the warehouse, which is like a couple blocks down, and you can start using the disc to help load up any extra silver that they need to get on there. There's like several layers of silver bricks that are being hauled out so that you can help them load up on your disc, and you can help put it in there.
As long as it's not 500 pounds, it can take as much. So
They get it to 499, and then they come over with another brick and you're like, no, that's enough. That's enough. And then you take that set and drop it in the wagon. With that, the wagons are getting full. You guys been basically, if there's anything like shopping that you need to do beforehand, restock on anything you might think you need, or check up on something before you leave this town, this would be the time to do it. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and continue the narrative.
I'd like to sell off my chainmail that I don't no longer need.
Chainmail. Let me check the value of a chainmail. The apprentice comes back from what he was doing, and you kind of mention, hey, you got this chainmail that you don't need anymore, right?
Yep.
You don't happen to have the price of a chainmail on hand, do you?
If you give me here 30 seconds.
I'm pretty sure I could probably just type it in the opinion. Yeah, I found the page. Hold on.
75.
75. They'll evaluate your armor and offer you 40.
Okay, I'll take it.
Alright, then they'll go ahead and take that for 40, and he'll set it up on a mannequin and get it cleaned up and set up for a new customer. Any other town business for anybody else?
I would like to go around, not directly interacting with anyone, but just seeing if I can go around the taverns or any shops and just hear if people are talking about any items that would basically need like adventuring for. Like they might have heard something that they're trying to look for.
Make an investigation. Nobody's really talking about much else than the incident that just happened. There's concerns going on about the Forge Master being taken to the new camp, but everybody's kind of reassured that the Watch has enough silver weapons to defend against the werewolf attack if it happens again. So that's pretty much the gist of what you catch.
Okay.
Alright, so if there are no other shopping or needs in the city, we'll go ahead and advance a little bit. The wagons are loaded. Forge Master's ready. There's a Forge Master's wagon, the silver wagon, and then there's your 4 horses. So, just to kind of, let's see here. I want you to pretend, because I don't feel like doing this, that these here 2 werewolves are the wagons. Position yourself around the wagon. Like if somebody's going to be in front of the wagons, one's going to be behind the wagons. Basically, don't be in the wagon.
So, who's the bard riding bitch with? Because I don't think he has a horse, does he?
Yeah, he has a horse.
Okay. I was about to say, he's not riding bitch with me.
So yeah, get within the vicinity of those 2 dead werewolves to be on the road whenever you leave, so I can kind of get like a marching order visually. And don't be inside the goddamn wagons.
Oh, you can be on top of it.
No, you're riding your own horse. You can't put your horse on top of the wagon.
Look at my horse.
This is a special horse.
It was amazing, right? So Zareth, are you staying that
Damn
far
straight
off
it was.
the road?
And yes, spare points. See if I can catch up on potential problems.
Alright, it's just a basic. Alright. So yeah, this is about, what, a 20-mile trek back to the camp. So you guys start heading through the forest trail that you came in from. With the idea that most of the werewolf problem has been isolated and taken care of, you guys seem to make a peaceful journey most of the way. Let's go ahead and roll perception. All around. Nice.
So I've got a passive 19 now that I took the observant feat. Do you still want me to roll for it?
What does observant do?
It provides a +5 buff to your passive perception, +5 to investigation.
Well, as far as
Uh,
passive goes, this isn't much of a passive result. This is something that you're trying to search for. You're actively searching at the moment. Alright, so Leo and Borden. You definitely feel the presence of eyes on you. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and have the two of you make wisdom saving throws.
Oh wow.
Alright, the vision that you, the sense of somebody watching you kind of washes away from you, Borden. However, Leo, you still feel like somebody's watching you. As you continue along. It's just a feeling that you have. You don't see anything dangerous around you. You're definitely walking through this, or you're going through this trail with the wagons, and you're definitely not seeing anything dangerous. You guys are starting to approach the crossroads where you know there are orc patrols. So, before you get there, is there any kind of preparations you want to do just in case there's orcs that are going to jump you?
Yes, I would like to hold up the group and I want to go on a scouting session, stealthily.
Alright. Do apologize. Got interrupted again. Alright, go ahead and make a stealth check if you're gonna... Alright, well let me ask you this. You're not bringing your horse, right? You're just gonna say, hold on to my horse and run up ahead a little bit?
Yes, I'm going to leave the horse with the group and then I'm going to walk into the forest.
Alright. So with that, you kind of leave your horse with them. You kind of duck into the bushes and everything and head into the forest. With this, go ahead and make a perception check.
That's 22.
Give me just a second here. Alright, how far from the group do you get?
Sorry, what are you saying?
How
You
far
glitched
from
out.
the group? How far from the group are you going to wander off?
Just about a 10-minute trip.
I'm sorry, how far?
Again, sorry.
Yeah, I guess we're having a little problem here. How far from the group are you walking away to do all this investigation? How far are you willing to wander away?
10 minutes of thing and then 10-minute walk back. So a total of half. I think I spent my time.
I was looking for distance, not time.
Yeah, so that means half a mile.
I don't think you want to walk a half a mile, do you?
I have no idea how long half a mile. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I'll tell you what,
Like
as you're
a
wandering through
kilometer
the bushes,
or 3.
here's what happens. Alright. So, you guys are kind of stationed, and he kind of left you guys behind. So, he's wandering more than 120 feet from camp. Sarah, as you're wandering around, you get spotted in your stealth. You're no longer stealth. This orc notices you. Let me make sure. Oh, boy. Yeah, alright. So yeah, this orc seems different from the other orcs that you've seen, as he's kind of carrying around a spear and is wearing a ring mail and a shield. And he kind of looks at you angrily as he starts to approach you. He's about 30 feet away from you. What do you want to do?
I'm going to throw a knife. I'm not sure how much damage I would roll on that. I haven't that much prepared.
It's 1d4 plus your modifier. But you have to hit first, so...
That's a 14.
Alright, AC is higher than that, I'm afraid. So your dagger goes long and it falls into the forest. You have movement still. What do you want to do? You want to run?
Yes,
Or
I'm going to read.
Okay, I will say that with your cunning action and action, if you dash, you'll be able to run away from this orc before he can actually act on you.
Has it been an abnormally long time since he's left?
He's been gone for about 5 minutes, and he's about on his way back after spotting this guy.
But, like, is it long enough for me to kind of, get a little worried and start sending a message? Uh,
I don't even think your message
yeah,
will work
I'll.
unless you know where he's at. Like, there's a
Yeah,
range on message, right?
yeah, it's 120 feet.
Yeah. So,
So-
I mean, you can start sending it. It's a cantrip after all. And then
Then
when
yeah,
he gets
I'll
within
send
120 feet.
one.
Yeah, so you
I'll
get,
send one asking if he's seen anything.
for a while, you don't hear anything right away. And then you're like, okay, you must not be in range. You just kind of keep sending the message out. After about 5 more minutes, you definitely, about that time, Zareth, you do hear the message from Oscar asking you if you found anything.
I'm running on my way back, right?
Yes.
Big angry orc incoming.
That's the reply. That was his reply, Oscar. Is there anything you want to do with that?
Oh crap, push to talk. Yeah, I will tell everyone that there's a orc coming and we should get ready to attack.
Well, guys,
Do you
you heard him.
know, by chance, how far this thing is from us?
Well, this spell reaches 120 feet, so he's within 120 feet of us.
Okay, roughly.
Alright, so yeah.
DM, by the way, what time is it in the day?
We're looking at about. Let's see, we said 2 hours. It's about 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Let's get him set up here, chat. Because you know this guy didn't come alone. Alright. So yeah, he comes running in after finally getting through with his scouting mission, and he tells you, Sarah, you are now back at camp. What do you want to tell him?
That there is a big grey orc with a spear that looks different from the rest, heavily armored as well, than what we fought here the day before. And
So what you're
that's
telling
the
us-
only thing that I spotted before I got seen.
So what you're telling us is instead of scouting, you brought them back to us in the cart.
Yes, that seems like a good idea.
Couldn't have tried to lose them in the woods, just bring them back. All right.
At about that time, you hear the howl of a dire wolf.
Is the cart an open cart?
Oh, I am about to make sure I got... Yeah, that's the right map. About to pull you to a map. Hey, check this out, guys.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Yeah, we could say the cart... That actually looks pretty equivalent to what's going on. The blacksmith cart's right here. The cart with all the materials is right behind it. You guys are over here having this conversation as 3 orcs and the mysterious orc kind of walks out from the background. And with that, I will have us all start rolling initiative. Let me remove. Click your token and roll initiative, please.
I always go last.
For a second, I think I got 25, but no, I got the 7.
Kind of want to divide them up so it's not all.
I'm sorry, I think this is the first time that I rolled that high for initiative.
Alright, did everybody go?
Zara's not on the thing.
Alright, Sarah, we need your initiative, please.
It's 25, I rolled it, I even clicked on my character sheet.
It does not show up in the turn order. So, re-roll. And make sure your token's selected.
Just re-roll it, and you can set the number to 25 after it's on there.
Yeah, now it's 15.
Well, hold on. If you
You can change it back
he
to
rolled
your
25,
original.
though. Yeah, you did roll 25. Alright, I'll get you to 25. Let me put that there. So, top of the order. And this is where you all kind of had this conversation. I'm going to say you were closer this way. Alright. This is how we start. You see these orcs approaching as they followed him up. Apparently the guy that you first saw, which is back here, went and gathered some more of his orc friends to come and patrol. So, starting at the top of the round, Zareth, what would you like to do?
Can I hide behind this rock? As a bonus?
Yeah, you could do it. So you move there, roll stealth. That's pretty good stealth. Alright. What are you gonna do?
And I'm gonna like attack the big guy in the back with my short bow.
Alright.
Oh, god damn it, I didn't use my assassinate. Wait a second. I need to re-roll
You
my
You don't need to say you use it since nobody had a turn on that order. Assassinate's just as soon. So let me...
yes, but it doesn't calculate damage in it, so
Well, I'm gonna use your 15. Yeah, you have advantage on the roll. You rolled 15. Your arrow shoots short. It doesn't make it. The arrow kind of whizzes through the air, and you almost hit him, but it hits like one of the horns on top of his helmet, and it just bounces off and falls to the ground. The dire wolf is carrying one of the. Let me double check something real quick. Dire wolves can move 50 feet. All right. So yeah, he can definitely pounce in on any of you. All right, dire wolf and his orc comes bolting up here, and this will be on board. Dire wolf is going to take a bite. 15 does not hit, I don't think, right?
AC 18.
Alright, so with that, the wolf takes a bite out at you. Totally missing, hitting air. You are now next in the initiative. What would you like to do?
I will go ahead and use my bonus to get that spiritual weapon up and ready.
Ooh, nice, nice. Let me... I should definitely make you something for that. What do I have in here?
I don't care if you just use an animated weapon token for now.
Here, we'll use that.
That works.
That's
I love
awesome. That's awesome.
That's actually an icon for a character I got. Yeah, go ahead. That's your spiritual weapon for now.
That is now canon. That is my spiritual weapon.
A
Just the
giant
massive
smile.
Guy Fawkes mask.
So go ahead and roll damage. That's alright. And you're attacking the dire wolf, right? Or do you
Yes, I'm
wanna
gonna try to
attack this
put the
rider?
wolf down before I hit the orc.
Sounds good. Alright, so minus. Alright, you your spiritual weapon appears and smashes down onto the wolf. The wolf kind of shudders to the movement of the weapon hitting it. He's still standing. You can definitely tell, but you definitely did a good number on him. What are you doing for your action? Or is it an action to cast it and then bonus? No, it's bonus action, right?
No, it's just bonus.
Alright, go ahead and make your action now. make a saving throw, if I'm not mistaken. Wisdom?
DC 14 Wisdom save.
He fails, so he takes 10 necrotic. Or is that your... It has been damaged. Is that your damaged one? Okay, yeah, it is. Alright.
Yeah, 10 necrotic.
So a giant bell appears. With the vibrations rattles the brain of this dire wolf, and it's now howling and whimpering because of all the damage it just took. That was a good round. He is looking pretty hurt. Still alive, but pretty hurt. Anything else you want to do on your turn? I imagine you don't want to move.
No, I'm gonna hold my ground.
Leo, you are up. What would you like to do?
Alright, I'll move right here. And then I'll just attack the dire wolf.
Do you want to be in flank position?
Oh yeah, that would be...
Yeah.
Alright.
So roll with advantage. A whiff.
Alright, and then I will cast Hunter's Mark on the big guy.
The other guy in the back.
Yeah.
Alright, what should we use for Hunter's Mark? Let's see. How about that? Alright, so he's been Hunter's marked. So you rear up behind this direwolf. You try to take a swing, but you miss, and then you quickly turn around, throw your left hand out, and then Hunter's Mark appear right above the spear-handed guy in the back, and it just kind of glowing luminescence of the Hunter's Mark appears so that you can see your quarry. With that, I assume that's the rest of your turn, right?
Yep.
Decisions. What to do? That one looked good. Let's go with that. Let me look up something real quick here, and I will... Alright, so 60-foot range. Let's see, what is the saving throw? Wisdom, alright. Sorry, taking a little time here. And it's his... Alright, Leo, I need you to make a DC saving throw wisdom. Alright, so the orc in the back points at you and he commands, drop! And then all of a sudden you drop your sword and shield. And then he kind of directs the other orcs to go around and surround you. Which they do. Move 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 25. So you get flanked. Or, yeah, these two would flank. Now find the orcs. We're doing great axe attack. Only one. Does a 16 hit you with your -2 AC from the shield drop?
That misses.
Alright, well you got plate mail now, good thing, huh? And then from the opposite end on top of the dire wolf, he missed. Well, no, he gets advantage. 20? 21 and 20, do they both hit? Those two are flanking.
Without the shield, I'm at 19.
Alright, so yeah, we'll do 2 attacks on you, I'm afraid. Holy shit. What? I rolled max damage on both of those rolls.
Sweet.
I'm gonna kill you, friend. And then one more from the back. He doesn't get advantage. Well, no, he would. Direwolf is an ally. You were in a bad spot, friend. 5 more damage. So 35
Yeah, I'm
points.
down.
Oh no, Leo's down. Apollo, you just saw all these orcs get around Leo, and they just took him down. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I am. Let's see. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire, so that way it hits all the enemies in.
Can you
This
roll a
area.
spell card?
Yes. It's a 20-foot cube.
Alright.
So, all the creatures within that area now have a.
Light around them, and they'll be able to have advantage on those attacks against them.
Yes.
Alright, I'll just give them a pretty little dot. And what else you want to do?
Then as a bonus action, let's see. I'll inspire. Let's see. I'll inspire our cleric. Sing him a little song, and give him a D6 inspiration die.
Alright.
And I'm gonna move back here. Okay, and that will be my turn.
Alright, with that, Oscar, what would you like to do? You just saw Leo drop his weapon and shield, and then all of a sudden get swarmed by all these orcs.
Okay, so it has to be an attack roll to use Fairy Fire, right?
No, he just picks 20 feet cube.
I know, but like to proc
Oh,
it,
yeah,
it has
you'll-
to
you'll
be
have-
attack roll.
No,
Okay, so
you
I
can-
was going
yeah,
to
yeah.
save the. I was going to save the attack roll, this round.
Any attack roll against
And-
the affected creatures has advantage if the attacker can see it. If you can see it, you get advantage. If you're doing
Okay.
magic attack, even. You're making an attack roll to hit it.
I'm going to use Burning Hands. I'll step up a couple feet
Alright.
and use Burning Hands on Leo. But I will use Careful Spell.
You're going to use it on Leo. Go ahead and click it for me.
Well, it's a 15. It's hang on. Let
It's
me
a prone, right?
put the spell card up.
Yeah. First I thought, wow, we're just gonna make him fail, right? Leo, you were not
So,
strong enough.
First,
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna purify Leo by flame.
Well, he is
first the card
following the
drops
goddess
and
show.
you need to roast it.
Say again there, Cutter?
Is it showing?
No. Can you just click the spell or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You might have to set the option to output spell card. There's a button to do
I
that.
did.
Make sure you don't have anything in the bottom. Sometimes that messes it up. Like in the last box.
When the higher levels.
Yeah, sometimes that messes it up, especially if you're typing it in. Be faster if I just look it up.
There, that worked.
Every creature in a 15-foot cone. Yeah, I think you can hit all these. Yeah. Is that an attack roll or just save?
It's a save.
Let's see here. Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the wrong button. Orc 1, Orc 2, Orc 3, what's your DC? Spell DC on the...
Why is the spell not working?
No, look at your spell DC.
Yeah, I dragged it in and it's not working. It's 13.
Okay, so one of them saves. Do your damage. You do 3d6 fire damage. And then one of them will take half damage.
Oh, it's asking the level. I didn't see that.
first guy. And on that again. Alright. First guy will take 10 points. Nice. Or actually, he'll take 5. The others will take 10, and you do significant amount of damage to all these orcs. They look instantly bloodied as your burning hand hits them. The dire wolf
I
looks
think I'm going
very
to do a. I think I'm going to do a quicken spell. I'm pretty sure I can.
Yeah.
And I will.
Sorcerer spell points. Go ahead.
Hang on. I'm trying to figure out how much the careful spell did real quick. Like how many sorcerer points?
Mm-hmm.
2, I believe.
Okay, so I can use it. Crap. So if I use quicken, I can't use. Crap. If I use quicken, I can't use careful. Crap.
Burn him! Burn him! Kill him!
I use quicken and use scorching ray.
No, you can direct that one, I guess.
And I have advantage on the attack rolls, so.
Yep. Go ahead and make your first attack. Do it one at a time. Make sure we get both rolls out.
Alright, the direwolf.
Alright, let's start with him. Make your attack roll. That's a hit for sure. What damage? He did. This one here gets knocked prone.
Okay, and I will focus the, I guess the orc on the left.
Alright. Just so you know, he still looks healthier than the other two.
Well, I mean, don't I have a disadvantage on the prone?
It would cancel out.
Okay, so I'll just have regular. So both of those would still hit the prone. I mean, if you're willing to retcon that, so I mean.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure you knew. Oh, go ahead and roll your damage. We'll start with the right one if you want.
Okay.
And that takes care of that one. One more. This guy?
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and roll your range attack, or did you? Oh, you did, okay. I'm a little bit behind there. Alright, so yeah. You managed to take out the dire wolf. 2 orcs on the side of him. Leo is still crumpled on the ground with 1 orc standing. And I think that orc is going to get a little weary of sticking around for this fight. Zareth, you're up.
Am I still hidden?
No.
Then I would like to try and hide again.
Go ahead and try. And what would you like to do? That's your bonus.
I trip and fall behind the rock. Everyone can
Is that
see
a
me.
natural one?
I'm hiding!
That's a natural one. Yes.
You
No
basically
one
jump
saw
over
anything.
the rock thinking, oh, this is a good height. Oh, wait, they're over there. Well, at least you don't hurt yourself for badly hiding. So what do you want to do with your action?
You whisper to the orc, don't give away my position.
Shh. You don't see me.
I'm going to kill the last normal orc. I'm going to attack the last normal orc with my bow.
Alright, go ahead and make a ranged attack. And it is at advantage. Yet you still... Oh no, that's a hit. And you know what? I think if you have advantage on the attack, it's still considered sneak attack, even though Leo's on the ground. You get sneak attack damage on that. So, good for you.
Hey, so 17 then.
Then you shoot the arrow, flies through the air above Leo's crumpled corpse, and slams right into the orc's forehead and drops him to the ground as he spins over, spilling his blood. You definitely got this orc here pissed, but he's not looking like he's going to hang around for too long. The dire wolf's dead. Borden, it is your turn to go if you'd like to do anything before that orc tries to run away.
Approach.
Approach as you will, sir.
No, he's coming to us unless he, passes his save.
Oh, command. Alright.
DC 14.
Wisdom, right?
That's correct.
He says,
God damn it.
no. That was a good
It was
one.
worth the shot.
That would have been ironic. That would have been cool. All right, so yeah, he says no.
And then I will use my bonus instead of having the spiritual weapon do anything. I'm going to throw a healing word out there to Leo.
All right, go ahead and roll him some health. The
You
healing
get 6.
word, Leo, you feel 6 hit points restored as you're healed by a word from the cleric.
Rise.
There you go.
All right.
Since
Thank you.
nobody's taking the command to approach, and I take it that's the rest of your turn.
Yeah, no, I'm good from that point.
All right, Leo, you are prone at the moment, and you have
All
no
right.
wits about you.
I'd like to stand up and pick up my weapon and shield.
All right, you do so. That's 15 movement. I'll say free action for your weapon and shield just because they're just right there in front of you as you're getting up. What would you like to do? He's way back there.
I'll
And you only have 15 movement.
tell him to approach.
Oh,
Who doesn't have that?
you.
Wait, do we all have that or something?
No.
I don't.
Oh no. So
So,
yeah. So yeah, on his turn he's going to approach.
And then I will take a healing potion.
Uh-huh. Nice recovery. So you're back up on your feet, feeling a little bit better. The wounds are starting to close. You're still feeling a little shaken from the drop, but yeah, you're back up on your feet now. This guy is being will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's as far as he gets. He did approach. Well, and I'll move these kind of out of the way. Let's see.
So it ends its turn if it stops within 5 feet of you, so that's all he's got, I guess.
Dang, yeah, he moved within 5 feet of you, so therefore he ends his turn. So he couldn't even attack if he wanted to. Nice, nicely done, guys. Orcs are dead, so we take care of that. I could probably delete that. Oscar, you got a free shot on this guy if you want it.
didn't we just skip over the bard?
Hmm?
We
We
did skip
just-
Apollo.
Yeah.
He's at the bottom.
He's
No.
on a 7.
Yeah, he went before me. You just skipped over him, so he went to the bottom.
Whoa, no, how did that happen? Go ahead and go, I'm sorry.
That's
Apollo?
okay. I am.
Excuse me.
How's he looking?
This guy is fresh. He hasn't been touched yet.
Okay. Does it seem like he's wearing any metal armor at all?
Why, yes it does. He's wearing ring mail. And he has a
Okay.
shield.
I'm gonna cast heat metal on his armor.
Okay. And
So
that's a save too, isn't it? Or
Constitution.
DC Con? Alright. And he
Okay, he
fails.
does not make it.
So he
Okay,
takes.
so he takes the 10 damage, the 10 fire damage.
He's gotta take off his
And-
clothes, doesn't he?
If the creature is holding or wearing the object it takes the fire damage from, the creature must succeed a saving throw. If it doesn't succeed, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn.
So he's at disadvantage.
That's correct.
Unless he can somehow rip his armor off, but
And that will be my that'll be my turn.
Alright, so with that you you point at him and you just kinda see the metal around him starting to heat up and he's kinda like, and he's still kinda dazed because he's approaching. He's like he doesn't know what to do. And with that, Oscar, you are now up.
Okay, so I'm using Xanathars for this, so I don't know how it would work. Could I use Mold Earth to kind of like get the earth to grab onto his legs and kind of snare him right there?
That's in Sanitars. Let me take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll put a card up.
Okay, go ahead. sure what you're trying to do with this. This doesn't look like it does what you want it to.
Like, kind of let the earth go around his legs and just kind of like harden and keep him in place.
I think that would fall under just making it difficult terrain. I don't think you can actually encase
Yeah.
something in dirt.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work like you intend. That would be, what is it? Shape stone.
If
or
not, I'll
something?
just use Ray of Frost.
Yeah, I think that's like a shift. Different. There's a druid spell that kind of does something like that, I think.
I'll use Ray of Frost. That way he
Alright.
can't get away as quickly then.
I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Matter of fact, how long does command last? Is it just one turn?
1 round.
Yeah, it's the one round.
Alright, so he'll be back to his senses when it comes back around. Alright, so go ahead and roll your Ray of Frost, or do I roll a saving throw? Nope, go ahead and that's a...
It was on advantage, but still, either way.
Yeah, that's a hit. I believe... Yeah, that's advantage. Alright. He takes 4 code damage. And now he has negative 10 movement speed. Let's
Yeah.
see. Is there something here? No, there's a heal here somewhere. Oh, we'll use that. Let's use that. Alright, there we go. His movement speed's been knocked down. So this guy has been commanded. He is now burning in his armor. He is now frozen in place. And he has Hunter's Mark.
It's a little cryo fire.
Yeah, something going on here. Anything else you need on your turn?
Does he take blast damage since both fire and cold are in effect?
No, this isn't Warframe.
Damn it.
I will, however, go over to the side over here and kind of position myself in case he runs.
Alright, go for it. Move yourself, and Zareth, you're up.
I would like to try and hide again.
You can certainly try. It's a little bit better.
And I'm going to attack the guy with my short.
That's a hit. Do not have...
15.
Oh wait, you were hitting though. Unseen attacker give you advantage, and the sneak attack, so 15 points of damage on that. He is looking bruised and beaten. Hey,
Can I fire a shot as my bonus action?
no, you cannot.
You gotta use the bonus action.
Yeah, you hit, remember?
Oh yeah, I did. God damn it. I would
Yeah.
like to move upwards to the north.
Go ahead and move. Borden, you're on deck. Okay, so you're moving in position. Borden, what are we up to?
I'll be moving there.
Okay.
If you could move my spiritual weapon up to his side, I can't actually select the token.
5, 10, 15, 20. That's a hit. Takes a swing from that spiritual weapon, and he's still standing. He's taking a beating. And you move into position.
And then I'm gonna take a swing with my own hammer.
Go for it. That's a hit. He is very bloodied right now. You swing your hammer down. He got gashed in the head with it. He's like really reeling because he's in his heated up armor. He looks like maybe the next round would finish him, but he's still there. Just from the heated armor. If I'm not mistaken, that doesn't wear off until concentration is broken.
That is correct.
Alright, Leo, you are up.
Alright. I'll move right here. Bonus action, cast Vow of Enmity. So I have advantage.
Go for it.
And then I'll just swing at him.
That's a miss. Even with advantage.
Don't get your hunters.
Yeah, but that doesn't work unless he hits.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a D6 damage. Okay, so yeah. So at the top
That's
of
my
his
turn.
at the top of his turn, he takes damage from the heated armor, right?
I can call it as a bonus action on my turn.
So you have to do that.
Yes, that's on my turn though. It's not on his turn.
Just considering. Wow, he really doesn't have any options. I'm going to give you both opportunity of attack because he's going to try to flee even though it's a hopeless flee. So Leo and Borden, you can make attack of opportunity.
I'll take it my spiritual weapon doesn't get that same opportunity.
No, it does not. Okay, so both of you miss, so he's going to bolt it. 5, 10,
Hey,
15.
he attacked.
I
I
got a
didn't do
24.
my thing yet.
Oh wait, you got a 24? Never mind. Oh,
I
you
will
got-
miss.
Yeah.
Unless I'm flanking with my little spiritual weapon, which I doubt.
Yeah, you still miss even with the 15. But wait, Leo's that second
Leo
attack is Leo's.
rolled
Okay,
with his
got it.
advantage.
Got it. 24. So yeah, Leo, go ahead and roll damage. I'm sorry.
I'll also pump a divine smite into it.
What if I told you you didn't need to do that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said, he was borderline dead. He tried to run away, but you managed to swing around, and you realize, oh, I didn't need to do that after all. So yeah, you managed to slay this orc as he started to bolt off, and now you guys are out of initiative. You are free once more. The scouts are dead.
Alright, I'd like to loot the bodies.
Yes,
Yes,
do
I-
some looting.
I'm going to go back on the road and start using detect magic and disregard the key.
Okay. Let me pull up my little generator I have.
I'll drop heat metal so that way anyone can search us by without burning themselves.
You do find a spear. The ring mail is burned, so it won't be of any use to even salvage. And yeah, you got 3 shabby great axes.
Oh well, those can always be sold.
Yeah, you got a blacksmith that's traveling with you. On the corpses, all together, you find about 24 gold, 1 platinum, and 15 copper.
Can I look on the more dressed orc and see if there's any anything that leads to just there's something being greater than just being an ambush? You know, if there's any markings specifically on his like armor, or if there's anything like a tattoo.
Who's asking this?
Paulo.
Paulo, make an investigation.
I'll help him with.
Alright, so you get advantage. With that, the only thing you realize is this orc had some innate ability to cast clerical magic, so you assume this was like a shaman.
Okay. I'm gonna relay that to the party. Doesn't seem like there's anything much on these orcs, guys. Nothing much besides a few coins.
Did I detect anything from magic? Or
Yeah, I'm actually going to look that up. So, is there anything else you guys want to do while I look up this last piece of loot?
I'll lay on hands to myself and give me 10 hit points.
Alright, go ahead and do that. There is a scroll that's illuminating on the orc that you guys killed just now. me see. He would be actually on this page.
I will go pick it up.
Let's see here. Alright, you find a scroll of healing word. Alright, is everybody ready?
Ready?
Yes.
Yeah, and I will give that scroll to Garden just so he can, when he runs out of spells, he has another.
Alright. And yeah, Borden, you're able to use this. This is a clerical version of healing word. So, yeah, you guys get loaded back up. Carriages are now, ready to go. And you guys start making your way to the crossroads. That leads down to that valley road that you found before that leads to the encampment. Let's roll perception all around. Oh yeah, now you keep your eyes open. Hollow doesn't have it flipped up.
I'm too busy.
And Leo too. Alright, Borden, Oscar, Zareth, you hear two loud roars. I don't even know how those other two weren't paying attention. But there's two separate roars. They sound significantly far away, however, they seem very echoey and very loud.
Will these perhaps be the giants we saw?
Could it be
No.
those 5 giants?
What, as you guys are kind of coming across that road where you can kind of gaze across the valley and you can definitely make out the shape of those fire giants, you kind of see panic in both camps. And before you realize, there is two giant shadows coming overhead. And they're kind of intertwined, like they're fighting in midair. You see the spans of two giant wings and a giant body being shadowed across the valley. And as you look up, you see a goat and a red dragon fighting each other in the middle of this mist. As they kind of barrel around fighting each other, you can see them blasting into the orc encampment, doing severe damage to that camp alone. They managed to fly back up. Sarah, are you able to log back in, or?
Yeah, I either I restart. I can barely
go
make
ahead.
out what you're saying.
Yeah, go ahead and log back in, and I'll keep going. Once Sarah gets back here, we'll continue.
Okay, here we are.
Back? Alright. So as I was saying, the two shadowy figures that you've seen up ahead were two dragons fighting, a gold and a red dragon. They bash into the orc encampment, doing severe damage on that side of the army. And then they fly back up, fire being spewed from both directions as they both try to claw each other, bite at each hold on, my tongue got caught between the dragons. So, yeah, they're clawing at each other, they're trying to bite at each other's neck, trying to do as much damage to each other as they keep tumbling and falling and crashing into the armies. Matter of fact, this time they were hovering above the Alliance, and their two forms come crashing into the mighty fortresses that were summoned. Severe damage is taken in on the encampment that you guys were trying to progress to. And all of a sudden, you hear a soft cackle up in the trees behind you. This dragon fight is taking place, and as you turn up, you notice Minerva just kind of standing up in a tree, cackling to herself.
Hello,
And-
Pat.
Yeah, and she's kind of looking down at you guys. Oh, the chaos! And she kind of grips her claw, or her fingers together, and she kind of glows this soft green hue of light that's illuminating around her.
Can I try hide behind the rock?
You can certainly try. You think you've hit.
Alright, I'm going to try to assassinate her.
Well, she's up in a tree. How do you intend to do that?
How far is she away?
She's about 20 feet up in the tree.
And with my short bow.
Yeah, you can shoot her. I just needed to make sure you knew how you were fighting her. Ooh, natural 20, huh? I did not think I was going to have to pull
No,
this.
it's not. I said it that it automatically crits.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
well,
it
then in that
calculates
case, you better fix
the
that, sir.
crit damage.
Oh, wait, you're doing assassinate. Well, I did not think I had to pull this out this early. Hold on.
I think all just broke it.
So how much damage is that?
That is 29.
Alright. She gets hit by the arrow, and it stabs into the back of her shoulder blade. She turns around and looks to where it came from, and she notices you right away as she reaches behind her shoulder, plucks the arrow out, flips it around in her hand, and she sends it spiraling back at you. Oh,
Let
but
me
she
see,
just
I
slams
have
it
some,
on
I
your
have a dog thingy.
But don't worry, she wasn't actually trying to hit you, apparently. The arrow slams right by your foot as you kind of duck back out of the way. So,
Okay, I pick up the arrow and wear it. So thanks. I appreciate that.
so you want to tango with me?
Well, no, but if you're following someone, you should stay hidden.
But don't you see, as she kind of dances in the tree and points up to the dragons fighting in the middle, this chaos empowers me.
I mumbled to myself, I should have shot her in the head.
Probably. There is something I need to do from a different campaign now that this has come into play. So anybody else want to do anything? Since he already had a turn?
Yeah, I'm going to remount.
I am too, and I'm going to kind of get the carriage and kind of get it to start going again.
Make sure I got this here somewhere.
That makes sense, yet. I'm going to move to my mount as well.
Okay, so you guys are moving your mounts out? Wow. Alright, bear with me, Chad, as I go and try to find something from another campaign so I don't have to re-roll these stats on these other characters.
Zareth, if you just single-handedly manage to aggro the one thing that'll TPK us, I'm gonna
Yes.
be pissed.
Well, that's a buckle up.
Oh, man. Alright, so let me go in here and I gotta send a couple characters to default. So yeah, basically, for those who are watching, this game will last for about 4 hours, by the way. We're coming up on hour 3, unless somebody has to duck out early. How are we on time for whoever needs to leave?
We're good for about another half an hour to an hour.
So I have yet to hear further plans on my Mother's Day activities, so I'm still good for now.
Oh crap, I gotta do this from... Okay, I'm trying to remember how roll 20 makes me do stuff, so give me a second here. I guess I was right, I should have been in the vault the whole time.
Zareth, if we live, I might be killing you myself, just so you know.
Okay, I'll never go hide behind that rock again.
Okay, that's what I need to do. Alright, so choose game. Alright, so I need her henchmen is what I need. Honestly, I did not think we were going to get this far in this, but where is she at? Alright, fine. I can't find her. We'll just go with the one. Maybe she's already here. As she kind of cackles and laughs at you, another female character kind of encroaches out from the shadows. And she kind of looks up to her. You want me to take care of him, mistress? So if you want to do any persuasion at this point, I would highly suggest it.
I am going to just like go
Hey,
toward
what?
them and say I am very sorry for my friend's actions.
Like I said already to her, it's like if you're following someone, you should try to stay hidden.
In that
I do
case-
not approve of these actions. Like, no, Borden's like straight up pissed right now.
Okay, I will say one thing. If it helps, and I will shoot a firebolt at
What? At Zareth? Alright, so here's what's going to happen. Medea pops out, and she asks her that, and then he's mouthed it off like that, so she takes that as an act of aggression. Medea, this shadowy monk, appears in front of Zareth, and then she'll do her action. That's a 28 hit,
Yes,
and does a 22 hit, and does an 18 hit.
everything above 15 hits me.
Okay, just checking, you know, because, yeah. So how many health do you have?
I have 5.
How much?
30.
Alright, so here's what happens. You take 2 of the stabs, and then you take 2 death saves. Her rolls
Sorry,
are being GM rolled, by the way.
Oh, this keeps drawing out. I need to do what?
You are officially down on the ground after the first 2 hits, and then you take 2 death saves because you're on the ground unconscious, and she got a free hit on you, and that's a critical hit.
Okay.
So you got 2 death saves on you. And now she spins her size around in her hands and says, "So, who's next?" And you hear Minerva just laughing her head off. You think I come unprepared? Oh, you petty little fools. And she kind of leaps down from the tree. And at any time, you want to make any kind of attacks? I'll just ask. Do you want to fight her?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not particularly, and
As you guys
I
are
am
just-
not in range to even spare.
Alright, so basically, just to kind of be a little narrative, a little bit of warning, she kind of points to Medea and it's like, "Come on, Medea, we shall leave these fools. Let's go and see the dragons play." And they kind of rush off, leaving you guys to your friend. I am going to say, Zareth, you get a death save.
I
Those were
rolled a
2 failed
3 and a
saves you got,
19.
right?
I did not let you roll it yet, so go ahead and roll it now,
Okay.
because I did not ask for it earlier. Ooh, so you get back to 1 HP on your own. You didn't even need anybody. Natural 20. That is a regular roll 120. Okay, good. So yeah, you just had this experience, and you're back on your feet with 1 HP, awake, and Minerva and Medea are nowhere to be seen.
What was the other name?
Medea. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
I'm
Oh
just gonna
man.
lean over and
Yeah, let's-
tell Leo and just be like, "Is this what you guys usually get into?"
I'm at a loss for words right now. Like my character is just like, I'm debating breaking my neutral good stance and just polishing him off for endangering all of us like that on a rash action.
Well, you guys are here
So
debating.
as I dust myself up, I say, well, at least now we know she also has a pet.
Yes, she also has a pet.
And I should have missed that she tried to kill her.
You shouldn't have done anything of that nature to begin with.
Hey, if I got lucky, I've shot her in a she would be dead. Seems like a lot of trouble saved.
I
At this point, you guys are pretty much trying to rally back because the dwarf is asking, "What is going on up there? Are we ready to move?"
Yes, we should start moving right away.
By the way, Oscar, you could be using your floating disc to move the corpses off the road.
Yeah, I'll use that and mold earth to kind of move the earth under them to get them off the road.
Yeah,
Just toss them in the sea that we see, or
Just-
the river.
just roll them off that river over there. So yeah, you guys had a little taste of her power, or her allies' power. The dragon fight's still going on, and there's a lot of devastation going on below both encampments. Both orc and the allied forces are being tousled. They're trying to evacuate. As you can see, many of the army men trying to line up against the side wall to avoid as much damage as possible, and try to make it up the roads to get back up to the upper part of the portion. Dragons are spitting fire everywhere. There's casualties left and right on both sides of the field. One of the fire giants did get severed in the fight as he gets crushed by one of the dragons tumbling on top of him. The other one looks like he's getting severely damaged, and most of the armies of the orcs are being perished as they're trying to make a hasty retreat to get away from these angry dragons. The armies are dispersing, trying to head back towards the outpost region. Eventually, after about 20 minutes of watching this, as you guys get closer to the crossroad with the other wagon, you're like, holy shit, what just happened? The dragons kind of fly off in a southerly direction. And they're still entangled in combat. But the major threat of them doing anything to you guys is gone.
Alright, well, I say let's continue on our way. Let's get this road trip over with.
I'm gonna go for like 2 or 3 minutes, and if you want to just put me on autopilot for a second, I'll be right back.
Alright, so he's just going to mount up and just kind of follow along with you guys. Anything else you want to do in this location before you move on? And if you're moving on, where do you want to go?
I would like to get to the camp as soon as possible. It looks a little fucked up.
Yeah, I agree.
Same.
Is that
Yeah, same here.
Mm. Does that work or no, Borden?
That did not. I'll just do something in a separate tab real quick.
Alright, so yeah, you guys kind of. So are we still going towards the encampment to where it was? You see, like, as you're getting down into the valley, you see many ruts and grooves and a lot of imprinted earth from where the impacts of the dragons hit. There's lots and lots of burnt grass across the fields in this valley. Most of the vegetation has either been burned or crushed into the ground. Getting closer to the fortresses that were made in order to hold the encampments, many of the mighty fortresses been torn down asunder from the dragon's impact, so there's only like maybe one or two in the far back. And you're very much aware that Commander Kalman was actually in the fort camp, so it's questionable if he's even still alive.
I'll be making my way to the infirmary or where they're triaging.
Alright, so
Guys, I can barely hear you. This keeps dropping out. I think I'm experiencing internet troubles.
you wanna try backing out one more time? Let me check to see.
Just move on. I'll try to piece together what's being said.
Alright. So yeah, you guys make it back to the camp. Devastation everywhere. Dead bodies. Military men who are both young and old, who've been kind of brought down in order to fight this fight. Everything they were preparing for to repel the orcs seems to be devastated in an instant. Looking upon the camp, you do see triages trying to be done by carriages. There's several carriages that have been salvaged. Matter of fact, 2 of them are the very carriages you guys left with the army, and they have like 3 or 4 people kind of stacked in the back, just trying to treat them for wounds that they can try to get them back on their feet, or try to get them to, you know, stabilize them, get them back to their full health, or to a health to where they're not in danger of dying. But there are so many people who have just died from this attack. The back camps that did not get attacked, many of the reserve soldiers who were trying to, you know, rally the troops from the back end kind of come up into the fort as the dragons leave. Safety's kind of assured. So there's a lot of reinforcing of trying to get the triage working to where effectively kind of save whoever they can. There's search parties looking underneath the rubbles. Since the mighty fortresses were summoned by magic and took so much damage, all of them kind of disappeared. So the structures that were built to fortify that front are now gone. So there's not as much rubble as there would have been. But there is still so much carnage on the field.
I'm going to approach whoever seems to be most in charge right now. And as I pass triages, I'll be throwing out that spare the dying cantrip.
Alright.
Just rapid fire as much as I can. I'm going to have him bring all the stable and wounded to one central location.
Mm-hmm. Let me have you roll me a percent dice. Roll 1d100. Very good.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there's several people who were desperately in need. You kind of flash through trying your best to get everybody treated as they're brought in. Your success rate of trying to save the dying has been blessed through Kazi as a warm wind kind of swifts through the area, and you feel your god is aiding you as she spreads the spare the dying's cantrip towards more. Yeah.
And then the second part of this, all those who have been stabilized, I was hoping for like a central like hospital medic area once they've been stabilized, you know, infirmary.
Yeah, they kind of actually got like several of the carriages barreling out towards the edge of the canyon so that they got some cover, so to speak. So they spin kind of more off to the right. Let's see here. So
That's why I was trying to stabilize them first, and then
Is that a
6 of
ritual
them
by
within
chance?
range.
No, that's not a ritual, is it?
No, it's just a 10-minute cast time.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, go ahead and roll the health on it, and 6 people will definitely be put back on their feet.
As he's doing this, I'm gonna play my instrument enlighten the mood of everyone.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. If you do your Song of Rest, you can do that as well to kind of aid in the healing. So go ahead and roll yours as well. And then it'll cover more people as they're kind of sitting down there and you're trying to lighten the mood. It's a dreadful scene, but you're just trying to make the mood better with your song. So go ahead and roll your restful healing. Okay.
It's about 3 to
So yeah, many people who were kind of unconscious, on the verge of coming back from their weary state, they get that 3 HP and they're back up. So anybody who can hear you kind of got the aid of your 3 HP gain on that. And yeah, you guys managed to stabilize a lot of the people who were close to dying. There's still a lot of death, but you managed to stave off a good portion of it with all your efforts. You go searching around looking for someone in charge. There is no sign of Commander Kalman. Not directly. And you do see a stubborn dwarf just kind of barking orders at everybody, who seems to be kind of hauling everybody into a certain direction. And yes, take that group over there. Fortify that front line. This is terrible. Where is the commander? You, go there and get that group with their supplies. Find out how much stuff we have left. Get the horses together. We're going to have to carry these soldiers home. We're going to have to abandon this post. And he's just going around barking orders left and right, similar to that notion. Is there anything anybody else wants to do, or?
I have no idea what you just said from the moment we walked into that room. So just move on. I'll just do nothing.
Well, did anybody hear me, or did I break up just for him?
Yeah, I heard.
I heard the dwarf shouting his orders.
Yeah, that part cleared up a little bit. So I think I have some internet problem.
Yeah. So yeah, the dwarf is just shouting orders and getting everybody in a direction. They're trying to fall back to the outpost, so they're trying to get everybody in wagons, horseback that is injured, and then start a march of whoever can march to try to, abandon this outpost, because there's no way to defend it at this point. And the major threat of the orcs gathering seems to have been taken care of as well. So not without casualty. This problem seems to have resolved itself. With that, I need everybody to make make a perception check for everybody. As you're kind of glancing around this camp, see if we can spot some things. Oscar, you found the captain. He's dead. You see him in a group of bodies that have just been kind of pulled off to the side. Along with that, you look out into the valley for an instant, and you could have sworn you've seen some woman riding a horse across the valley trying to head up towards the other side that leads up to the outpost direction. So she's heading west and then north if she goes up the canyon road.
To Thorin, then?
Yeah.
I'll tell the dwarf about the captain or the commander. And,
No. Yeah, he kind of groans and he's like, damn it. He offers this respectful salute. And then many of the soldiers that are around him kind of do the same. And with that, they all kind of tend to what they can. And the dwarf is like, I have to take responsibility for this group. So he continues barking orders and gets everybody ready to go. So,
and I will relay the rest of about the woman heading northwest to the group.
Yeah, so he basically let you know that there was a woman on a horse. She doesn't recognize the woman, by the way. And she's riding on like a white steed, and it's just traveling really fast across the valley and then heading up north. Is there anything you guys want to talk over, or?
How
I
far
mean,
is
I
it
feel
to
like
the town or city they're trying to go to?
You guys are about 40 miles south.
Yeah, I think we should probably head back to town. What do anyone else think?
I mean, it's a good idea. I like it. Might need to camp out to the night because I'd imagine it's getting somewhat late at this point.
We're looking at about 3, 4 o'clock. I would say if you guys were to make a full haul to, see, I think you can make the 40 miles in about 8 hours, maybe.
so. I'm gonna go ahead and it's not an executive decision, but I'm going to more or less use my bedroll from my pack, as it were, to package the body of the commander, so we can bring her back to Felran and inter her
Well, no,
at the outpost.
Commander Kalman's the guy, by the way.
Oh, I thought you said she was a girl.
No, there's a girl who's on a horseback that he caught watching across the field. That's all that happened there.
Either way, I'm preparing the body for travel so we can inter them at the outpost.
All right. I mean, they're kind of setting some of the dead up into wagons as well, but yeah, it's like not on the high priority. They're trying to get the wounded and the able out first, and then All right, Sarah, go ahead and get that restarted.
Short of burning my channel divinity and throwing out an extra 20 points to 20 people, 1 point each, I've done all I can for the wounded.
Yeah, you guys done considerable help here, and like I said, Kazia kind of blessed you whenever you decided to put forth the effort and try to get spare the dying on as many people as you can. That's what the percentile roll was about. Yeah, from here you guys can start making your way back to Falran. A lot of the wildlife and any major threats have been kind of scared off. As you're going back up through here, let's do one more round of perception.
I am too busy with the commander's body to see shit.
Yeah. Leo, remember that group of dwarves and humanoids that were up there at the lumber mill?
Yeah.
That lumber mill is in total disarray.
I'll point it out to my compatriots.
Yeah. So you guys kind of look off to where he's pointing, and you see this totally devastated lumber mill. The house, the mill itself, all devastatedly broken. There's no sign of anybody outside.
So we're standing at a broken house.
That lumber mill where you met the 2 dwarfs and the humanoids on your session 0 is in total
Where's
disarray.
that place?
Yeah, that's where you're at right now.
Yeah. I have internet problems. Discord keeps dropping out, so...
Yeah,
Alright.
tell you what, we're going to try to rough it out for another 15 minutes or so, and then I think we might call this stream. But,
it's fine, just continue.
Well,
I'll
no,
just
no,
do thing. If I see someone rolling, I'll roll, but I can't really gather what's being said.
yeah, it's getting really robotic. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, is there anything you guys want to do at this broken down mill before you head out?
I mean, short of checking if there's any sparing I can do, there's nothing really.
I'm going to let you roll investigation and see if you can find any survivors. Anybody who wants to.
I'll hit him.
Alright, Zara, Borden, Oscar. With Leo's help, as far as lifting certain parts of the building, you managed to find one of the dwarves who got caught under most of the rubble. And he's kind of got this other corpse of his friend in his arms. He's still alive. He is alive. His friend is not. And he looks up at you with eyes of fear, and terror as he thought he too was about to die. And then he kind of looks up to you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Can't believe that those dragons did so much damage in so little time. And he's just kind of got his arms around his friend, just thinking he's holding on to him, making him comfortable. But, it's just a dead corpse in his hand.
You're free to come with us. I don't believe there's much left for you here, unfortunately.
Where are you guys heading?
Felrand.
From there I could probably make it back to Timer. I gotta see if I can get aid of some sort. He's just kind of out of it. He's just traumatized. He'll get up and kind of go with you however you want to do it. He kind of looks around for tools as well, and if you give him enough time, he's going to make a small, shallow grave for his friend as he buries him here.
Hey, Oscar, that cantrip you've got to move Earth?
Yeah, I'll help him dig.
All right, so you
And,
kind of loosen the dirt up, making it twice as fast as he kind of makes enough room for his friend to lay peacefully, and he just sets him in there. And you guys bury the corpse. He puts up some cairns around the grave just to kind of indicate it. Be well, my friend, as he kind of puts his hand over his heart. All right, let's go.
So we're gonna make the full trek over there in 8 hours, or are we going to camp out at some time?
And about this
I
time,
vote for
it's-
making the full trek, just so we can more or less start off in Felrand next time since we're about to cut it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
nothing.
Okay. Yeah, you guys spend I imagine one of you got this dwarf on horseback with you. So who's got him?
I'll take him with me, just for sake of argument.
All right. So 2 dwarfs on a horse. Of course. And you guys
This is the start of a bad joke.
could have been, but the mood's kind of dead right now. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you guys spend the next 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, however long it took for you to drive your horses far enough, and you see all kinds of devastation from left to right, just looking across the land. Forest trees are broken down. You eventually come across even some druids who are kind of salvaging what's left. It's like a tornado had hit, and survivors are coming out trying to check what's left of their belongings in a matter of sense. But as you get closer and closer to Felrand, the damage kind of diminishes and then dissipates. And then once you get to Felrand, it's in one piece. No real harm has been done here. It's about midnight now, and you guys make it to the end. And unless there's anything you want to do beforehand, I can go ahead and say you guys go ahead and get a room, set up for the night, and then we can pick up on this the next morning. But if there's anything you want to achieve before nightfall, let me know.
I mean, you said we could get back around midnight. I figure there's not a whole lot to do but board up and...
I'll like to
Yeah.
check as we're making our way towards the destination. I'd like to see if there's just any ruins at all as we're going.
If there's any ruins?
Yeah, any ruins, just I don't know, something. Whether it's
Alright, so
something
along the
destroyed or
journey
not.
you were kind of looking for ruins. As a matter of fact, I want you to roll me an investigation check on this. As you get closer and closer to Felrand, you notice off to the west, past some of the devastation, you see some ghostly ruins appear. The image is there for a brief second, then it fades, and then it pops back out, and it just kind of catches you because the light's coming from an unknown source. You're the only one that noticed it, so it's up to you if you want to tell your party members about it.
I'll relay that to the rest of them. Point it out.
So, as he points it out to the rest of you, Borden and Osgrin, you've actually seen this phenomenon.
I thought we took care of this.
It's in a totally different location.
Looks like there may be more bleeding over than we've believed.
Can I do a perception check to see if I see a ghost?
Yeah, go ahead.
Not this shit again.
I'm sure we can make quick work of this one.
Looking around, you don't see anything, you don't hear anything. You're listening for, like, the sound and movements of maybe even zombies. So, you're under the impression that maybe this is just now starting. So maybe there's no undead yet, but if left unchecked, maybe this could be a problem.
I will take out my amulet and hold it in the air, see if anything happens.
No, nothing happens.
Okay, I will put it back up.
Alright. So unless there's any further investigating you want to do.
I mean, I'll mark it. Its approximate location on the little map I've got and
Alright.
carrying around.
So yes, you know where the ghostly visage of ruins have been spotted south of Felran. I would say this is about maybe 10 miles south. You guys are getting close to where the goblin camp was. In proximity. Not quite where it was, but a little ways from it. And if there's no further investigation here, we'll go ahead and get you guys back to Felran. Call it a night at the inn. And
Reginald's still around to return the dagger.
that's a good question. How about we find out next time on
There we go.
Elsparia. So there we go, guys. We're going to go ahead and let you guys get a full rest. And then we're going to pick up on what the fuck just happened. So any comments, any thoughts? How do you feel about that session?
You didn't have to throw that group at us, but, I mean...
What group? Which one?
You know
is
the
there,
one.
No, I
There-
don't know which one. Because, you know, you guys were perfectly fine if you left Minerva alone. Whenever somebody decided to finally pick that fight.
That's it. We were specifically told not to fuck with her. And then the rogue happened.
Yep, she has allies. And, yeah, she's not nice. I mean, I'm not going to give all the details away, but yeah, there's something going on there. You already got that sense. Yeah, and then there's a couple of dragons who are fighting in the middle and just kind of cleared that area for you. You know, I don't even know what the Forge Master's doing anymore, because he's like, well, what the hell? Why am I even here? Eventually, he'll either get redirected by the dwarf that was commanding after Commander Kalman passed. So, yeah, don't worry, that problem will resolve itself, I believe. Almost killed Seraph. And by the way, a natural 20 on a death save is an automatic get up, if anybody's wondering. It's a 1 HP, you wake up. That's the way we play it. If it's different for anybody else, that's perfectly fine, but if you roll a 20 on a death save, you're up. I'm not even going to question it. So, 1
And
HP
if you roll a 1?
and you're conscious. If you roll a 1, no, it's
That's
still
what,
just a
2
fail.
fails?
That's just a fail. No, that's just a fail.
Okay.
The only reason he took 2 death saves right off the bat is because he got critical. Because she killed him with the second blow, and then the third blow was a critical hit automatically because he passed out. Yeah. So yeah, you guys might want to beef up before you take that on.
Good thing I didn't try.
Yeah, and because you guys didn't all go and attack her, and after they took care of the one threat that actually did something, she just let it go after that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how everything else goes. By the way, you still have that key, so you could have camped out somewhere if you wanted to.
I think with the dragons fighting and everything else happening, I think getting to the place quickest would be best.
No problem. Alright, well, if anybody else is watching, thank you for tuning in. Hope you all had fun. I hope you guys have fun, because that's number one priority. So, yeah, we'll meet again next week. And with that, anyone have anything they want to say before we head out?
No, it's all great. All fun.
Right.
Have fun. I'm ears hurt from hearing robot voices for the last 1.5 hours.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I wish that wasn't happening. But yeah, with that there, I will go ahead and shut this stream off. Thanks for joining us, everybody who logged in and followed. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.